And we are live here again with another real news. Oh man, it's been another week in the middle of a pandemic and race riots and now potential school reopening plans. That's going to be our big discussion is that the Trump campaign had a major shakeup too, with Parscale now being moved to the from campaign manager to digital operations, kind of back where he started, and bunch of other crazies. Twitter hack. Where do we want to start?
We could start with the Twitter hack, I guess, since that's interesting. Or do we actually? Why don't we start out with the campaign stuff?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I definitely have a unique perspective I can bring to that too. Yeah, major shakeup in the campaign that really wasn't talked about as much as I think it should. Brad Parscale is out as campaign manager. Now Bill Stepping, I think I pronounced his name correct, is leading the show, and he he's an interesting guy. Like I'm gonna pull up his stats right now because he was the guy that ran both of Chris Christie's. I think both. I mean, that's all times Chris Christie ran. Well, at least two of Chris Christie's races, won them both, and he is now in the 2020 campaign at the helm. Big ground game guy. Big. He's like a Bobby Knight. That's how I'm kind of describing this guy. He's like a Bobby Knight at the helm of things. Like he's gonna push people hard, but he's gonna get results. So it's gonna be a very intense campaign now that he's at the helm, and that's probably for the better, I think.
I mean, shit, he's got to be pretty good if he can get Chris Christie to win a fucking race.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, in New Jersey.
Yeah, Blue State, New Jersey. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. I didn't see like, and not to knock Brad Parscale, but like, he didn't seem like the kind of guy that you would want to like run a campaign. Like, no, the digital stuff. Like, you know,
he's
he
amazing
looks
at
like he's
that.
a solid. Yeah, he's solid in that department. But it's like, there's a little bit more to it when it comes to like running a campaign. Like, and like, it seems like this. I don't even want to butcher his name.
Stepping.
Yeah, yeah. He seems like a no nonsense guy. Like it's you know, he seems like he's definitely one of those type of personalities that can that does the work, that does the gets the results, and like is about that, like is about the serious stuff. It's
Yeah.
not to say Brad Parscale wasn't, but like this guy seems like he's like a little more on it. Like I mean, maybe it works. Hey, I think if he could do it for Chris Christie, and I mean, I can't imagine he couldn't do it for Donald Trump.
Say what you will about fucking Steve Bannon, but I think he was probably one of the best fucking campaign managers I've ever seen. Maybe
Well,
not so much after the campaign, but I think he. I don't know how this guy is going to compare to him, but I think he's probably the second best guy for that.
I will
what
say, Uncle Steve, as Milo calls him, it does what he's really good at is understanding what is on the mind of the nation. Like he has a thumb on the pulse of the nation. He understands strategy really well. And I don't know the stuff that goes on behind the scenes with Steve. That's where I've heard things kind of become issues. But one thing he's been saying recently that I think is very true is that President Trump needs to do action, action, action. That's what he's been saying to really rile, energize the base because this is going to be a different campaign. It's not 2016. We can't do rallies. When we did try one, like, look, let's be honest, it didn't look good seeing the empty seats. It just didn't look good, and that's what I think was the last straw of Parscale personally. Um, but we can't do rallies. We're running a re-election campaign, and there's this mail-in ballot thing going on. You have a different like playing field here, and this is what keeps telling conservatives. And I'm not just saying it's because the campaign says it, but like it just makes logical sense. We have to deal with the cards we're dealt with. If you can vote in person, do it. But if you can't, and if you're concerned, here's a mail-in ballot. Go for it. Do it. Like,
I,
take
I thought
advantage
the
of what we
Supreme Court.
have.
I thought the Supreme Court knocked that out though. The whole
Oh,
mail-in
you're
ballot.
thinking of the oh, what's that thing called? I think I keep calling it, like, the drive-by mail-in ballot, but it's like basically where people could collect them. Like, you can't do that, but you can give people the application.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It was like voter.
Oh, the vote harvesting.
Yeah,
Ballot
ballot
harvesting.
harvesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Which
Just the name of that sounds fucking disgusting.
yeah.
It's
Fucking
But
hate
that's how they ended up winning. That's how the Democrats really ended up taking back the House in
Yes.
2018. That was like huge for them.
Well, and that's the
If-
thing too. I'm glad you bring that up because that shows the importance of ground game. Is Republicans were energized because of Trump in 2016, so they volunteered and they were on the ground knocking doors and registering voters and getting people out to vote. 2018 did not have that. It just wasn't there. And we lost. Now it's coming back. And this guy, Steppine's a real data obsessed. That's what the New York Times is calling him, data obsessed political fighter. And then this paragraph right here just makes me like, oh yes. It says he has been described as both shrewd and ruthless, a Machiavelli guided by vote share spreadsheets. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Do you
Well,
think he has autism?
No, I think it's weaponized. You know what?
probably got OCD like a motherfucker though.
I relate to that.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to think what I was going to say here. So for the action thing, like where you were talking about how Trump needs to be action.
Mm.
My thing is he's got to do something. Obviously, I agree with that part, but he's got to make sure that he does it when you know he doesn't do it too early to where people forget about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You don't want to.
Yes.
You don't want to do it too soon to where the public has already digested it and they're looking for something else. Like you want. I mean, you want to keep it going because it's like you always want to have something special late. Like
Yes.
really knock out of the park. You want to do that late. You know, because people remember that more than anything. I like how they have I like how they have the police that are like sneaking into Portland and like collecting people and like arresting them and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
that's,
those
like,
guys.
awesome. To me,
Yes.
that's awesome.
Those
It is
pictures of
amazing.
them too.
And they try to act like they're like the news is reporting it as if they're victims or something.
Yeah. And the other thing too is like, mentioning all the cops and the campaign, all that I think is relevant because I think Trump was, again, I know the right's gonna disagree with me on some of these points, but I think Trump, and we kind of said this, was smart to wait on the statues being torn down, the city's burned, to come in, swoop in later and save the day. And I think Trump right now, honestly, is really sort of like you were saying, Phil, is kind of planning what he's gonna do and when he's gonna do it. Because if he does things, it's July. People are gonna forget what happens in July, like the Tulsa rally. People are gonna forget that in a few months.
Well, that depends. Okay, so that depends. This next rally, he's got to knock it out of the park,
That's true.
and I think he will. I think my prediction. I'm gonna make a bold one right here. The next Trump rally is gonna sell out. It's gonna be an intensely huge outcoming. Like it's gonna be packed. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be badass. Like it's gonna be one of those ones where really you blow the roof off the place. Like, because you're talking if the last one was that like the last one looked bad, and there was a lot of reasons for it, but like they're not gonna want to have that happen again.
Yeah. And
Like,
that's
that
why
is
I
not-
think it's not going to happen, because number one, the campaign is not going to allow it to happen. I think Trump supporters aren't going to allow it to happen either. You know, they're going to come out when they probably normally wouldn't just to fill a seat.
I mean, honestly, if it's close enough, I might go. I might just go anyway.
Yeah.
Honestly, like if I could do, if I could do my part to like, you know, to make sure that it looks solid or that it packs out, then I'm totally on board.
Well, and the one thing too I will say, because you guys know what I'm doing every day, and it's what is interesting about it is as grueling as it is to be calling 100 people every day and talking to a bunch of people door to door and over the phones. You really get a much better sense of what people are thinking and the sort of the vibe of the country, at least in Republican land, but you also get in the vibe of Democrat land. We've been hitting the ground now for a month or two, I'd say. The Democrats have literally just moved in to some parts of PA today. They're behind. And when you talk to voters, the things I've noticed is, number one, nobody trusts the mail-in ballots. Not a single person I've ever talked to trusts them. Number two, some are afraid of COVID, some aren't. Usually older people are more afraid, which makes sense. And so they don't want to do anything or they don't want to get involved. I get that. Number three is that, and I said this before, but Republican voters are terrified more than ever before. Like, they are scared for their life. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm at 4, right? Losing count. Number 5 is and look, I don't know what the percentage of this is, but you've heard this in the media of people that were once Trump voters and voters. I'm going to say voters, not supporters. Once Trump's voters and aren't anymore. I'm not seeing a lot of those. I think there's about, of independents, we'll call them, that may have switched. That might be like, that aren't going to vote for Trump this time. Might be like 30%. I don't know, but I've heard of a lot of stories of people that vote for Obama, and maybe even voted for Hillary or didn't vote, and are now voting Trump. A guy I talked to today said he works with a bunch of union people. I think it was union people. He said they all voted for Obama. Now they're voting Trump because they're just tired. They're seeing how far left the left is going. They're like, this is insane.
Well, Trump is getting a lot of other non-Republican voters too. Like he's getting a lot of independents. He's getting a large chunk of all these other people that are normally wouldn't even touch a Republican.
Well, did you see Leo on Fox? Do you know who I'm talking about? Oh, dude, it was unbelievable. Leo Terrell, he's this like civil rights attorney that comes on Fox, and he's always like super Democrat, like hardcore. And I couldn't believe what I was hearing the other day. He said he was so upset with Black Lives Matter and how it's just, the Democrats are using black people, that he's voting for Trump. He's voting for Trump. This is a hardcore Democrat. Like, it's shocking.
Yeah. I mean, this is what's happening. Like I feel like Trump is going to win, and I think he's going to win pretty heavily because I don't think that and I'm not saying this as a reason to just kind of chill and kind of lay back or whatever. But I think you have the message that's being pushed out is coming from a very small minority. Like a lot of rich elitists are pushing this from the left, or pushing this, narrative about, with they're trying to push up Joe Biden, trying to downplay Trump, and it's not, but their message and everything that they seem to be standing for, a lot. I'm starting to see a lot of socialist promotion. I'm starting to see a lot of this real far leftist stuff. It's not. It doesn't translate to the rest of the country. It translates to a chunk, doesn't translate
Mm.
to the whole. It's certainly not the majority. I don't think.
Well,
Yeah,
I
And
that's the issue here. They went too far left. They got too high off their own supply. Like I think at first, a lot of people they felt bad. They felt bad about that whole incident. But after that, they just kept going and kept going. I think the Chad's Chop thing was a turning point for a lot of people. Then you saw, the Vice City couple out over here,
yes.
and a
yeah,
lot of people, they probably felt bad for him because now they've had their guns confiscated. They
yeah,
are probably going to be charged with something. They're demonized, and for what? For defending themselves without a shot fired against people who invaded their property allegedly. I want to keep this up in here because it's ongoing. I don't want to say anything, but
Mm.
allegedly there was people over there tearing down their the doorstep over there, stuff like that.
yeah.
That's scary.
Well, and those couple, I mean, that image when I first saw it, like, I initially laughed because it was just so like badass in like a funny way. Like you said, it looked like fucking like Vice City or like Scarface or something. But at the same time, I saw half of America in that picture right there. There's so many, maybe more than half. People are so scared by the rioting, the looting, the calls to defund the police and abolish the police that they're going to take up arms. They're going to protect themselves because if nobody's going to protect them and they can't trust the system to protect them, well, you got to protect yourself. And so I think that image was honestly it's got to be like other than like these coronavirus images that is like and the George Floyd imagery. That's gotta be like the third like iconic image of 2020 right there is those couple. Like it kind of wraps a lot up of like these riots in a weird nutshell. But the other thing too is like when you say they've gone too far, like that's what the whole abolish the police thing is they've gone way too far. I mean, who believes that's a good idea? Nobody except some radicals and like that are in some pish posh neighborhoods or something, or just have a hatred of cops or something. I mean, stuff like we were talking about Alex and I that Trump ad. That's a killer ad. It's the best ad he's come out with this cycle. The 911 call where you see like a empty police station. It's all dark, and then there's a phone ringing, and it says, "We're sorry, we couldn't come to the phone right now because the police have been defunded. If you would like for rape, hit 1, or for sexual assault, like it was listing all these things. Like if you want like information about like sexual assault or something, like in all these, and while it's a split screen showing like the city's burning and all this, is such a, I mean, the persuasion that ad is like dynamite. It's like that's how you use fear and emotions and all this crazy shit these people are saying effectively in an ad. It's a solid ad. And if you haven't seen it yet, if anybody watching this hasn't seen it, you gotta see it. It is the ad of the cycle right now.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I mean, and like Alex and you were saying, like it's you're going way, like it's. I get that I get that you're trying to go a certain direction to try to grab as many people as you possibly can, but the problem is for them, they're going far left, and it's like to the point where you're losing people. Like, and it's almost like it would be like if the Republicans were to go like KKK or something like that, and they
Yeah,
go what like
go full
white
Wignat.
white whites need to take back over the country or whatever or something like that. It'd be like, no, that's a terrible idea. But it's like the that it that is what the Dems are doing. Like these Dems are just completely getting, you know, going full commie. Like, I mean, defunding the police, that's some commie shit.
Yeah.
Destroy, yeah, like, silencing people, whatever. That like people remember, like if you remember Mao Zedong and the Chinese stuff, it's like, um, they were promoting kids. Like how many how many children are getting pushed into the frickin' media and stuff. Like even with like Parkland and like with Greta Thunberg, right? All these kids are like just being pushed out in front of these cameras to push some wild agendas that they don't even know about. But that's some shit that like Mao Zedong did. Like
Well, it's not
he
just Mao.
pushed.
Like Hitler did the same shit too with a
Yeah,
group that look a
but
lot like
that
fucking
that's
Greta.
it's a communist playbook, right? It's the
Well, it's a
communist fascist
totalitarian.
playbook.
Like it's been used by every sort of pearl clutching fucking like think of the children
Sure.
for
Yeah,
every purpose under the fucking
and
sun
they
is
use it because it's like nobody's going to tell a child that they're wrong. Well,
Mm-hmm.
other than me, like I have no problem.
And me.
Like no, children, you're fucking stupid. Shut up. All right. No.
Yes.
and Jeremy fucking Clarkson, man. He calls that bitch out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
But I mean, yeah. But like, but you going that far ahead, silencing people, like any protest, like any detesters. Again, Mao Zedong did that stuff. Anybody that spoke out was jailed or sent to prison or whatever. Like you, look, you. This is we're they are pushing like these liberal elites and like they are pushing in that direction. They really are.
And you know what, too, if you think about it, it's kind of like arming kids in other countries, and you want to hesitate before you shoot a kid because it's a kid. It's kind of like the words on what the kids are saying right now. People are like hesitant because like, oh, I'm gonna be attacking a kid, but like but we have to use common sense. Like that's a child. They're using this child to push an agenda.
Yep.
Oh, Butt Force Ventured said nobody I know has been pulled. Well, that's actually kind of an interesting story because the other day I actually got two polls over the weekend. Once when I was at my parents' house, and once the other day. One was about coronavirus poll,
Oh, I
and
got one too.
the other was like about like what do I think of Trump, and I'm glad I was actually polled for once. But the only reason I was even polled is because I still am a fucking like fucking boomer, and I actually have a home phone.
Okay, boomer. Well, I actually didn't get mine through the landline. I think it was through Penn State. Sent out a or somebody like I got an email I think about some coronavirus survey and I took it literally when I was actually on my job doing something, and I did that. I didn't get an actual Trump one yet, but speaking of like the campaign stuff too, I think I posted this on Twitter. The gun couple were featured in a Trump campaign virtual event as guests, and I'm like, that's awesome. Like that's what you need to do. Don't shy away from the controversy. Embrace it.
Yeah.
And there's a new article.
What's up, y'all?
Okay.
Sorry.
Hey, how you doing?
Sorry for joining late.
Nah, it's okay.
Oh, glad you're here. Glad you're here.
We're talking about the based Vice
But you're
City
right.
couple.
You are right. You are right though, Sean. He's gotta embrace this stuff more. And I don't know if this was the campaign manager or two or whatever, but like
I think it was
he's gotta
before
embrace
that. I think this
I
was
think
before the
he's
campaign manager, and there's also a thing too that came before too, where it says the headline says Trump may intervene in case of St. Louis couple.
Yeah.
'Cause-
I did see that the guy the guy who beat the shit out of the Macy's employee, he got arrested and he's facing 10 years in prison. I don't know if that's old news or not, but like
I didn't even see that.
Well,
yeah,
they happened to
there was
me.
like a video. There was a viral video, and I think even Trump retweeted something about it. Like there was like some 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 dude went and like beat the hell out of a Macy's store manager,
Oh yeah, I see it
something
now.
like that. Like beat the hell out of him, and like, and of course, yeah, they found the guy, and I guess he's the guy who assaulted the Macy's manager, and now I guess he's facing up to 10 years in prison. Like, good.
Yeah, that was
Have
from.
we discussed at all about the feds snatching up commies in the middle of the night?
No,
Yeah,
briefly
we
touched
were. Was that is that the one in Portland? The Portland thing we're
Yeah.
talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple of them, I guess, but There's that one on video that was just so fun. Use your words. Use your words. It was so
Oh yeah, there was
sorry.
that. Are you thinking that video too, where um, I know Milo posted. There was like this tranny like getting arrested by the cops, and she's like, "I'm a woman. I'm a woman," and there's like 20 of these fuckers around her, and her priority is, "I'm a woman."
That reminds me of that like fucking
Wow.
GameStop.
No.
Do you remember that like GameStop person who's like, "I'm a ma'am" or whatever, like that one?
Man, it's ma'am.
It's ma'am. Yeah.
I think they're trying. She was
Yeah.
trying to, like, she knew she was caught, and she was trying to do. She was trying to play her identity to
Yep.
get, like, to guilt trip. Like that's what was going on. Like she knew she was wrong. She knew she was caught. She knew she was fucked, and now it's like, oh, this is like the last. This is the last resort, right? Before finally going down.
Well, in a social justice world, I mean, I don't know why anyone would play any other card. Like, you know what I mean? The victim is a good thing in society right now.
Do you want to know how many views this has on Milo's channel? 212,000 views, and it was posted only like 5 days ago.
Wow.
Did
That's not
so?
even the one. That's not even the one that I saw. The one that I saw was it looked like a white dude and some dudes in an unmarked SUV in fucking full military gear. They just walk up silently, and some woman recording is like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? Use your words. Use your words." And the guy's like, "I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing." So they
Use
fucking
your words.
casually and gingerly take him and put him in this unmarked fucking vehicle and drive away. They're like, "You're violating his rights." It's so funny. I don't know what the fuck the dude did, but
Ape,
it's really fun. It's funny to see.
Apex Cam is a fad.
Oh shit! What's up, Sammy?
Hey.
Hey.
Sammy.
Phil, what is this shit with you bringing sex robots up in my
I've been telling people for a long time, by the way, since you brought it up. I said that I keep saying for the and these guys have been hearing this for a long time, that sex robots are going to be the end of humanity. That's the
You're not wrong.
Yeah, because you see, I said this, and I said this because I was seeing some documentary about like these new sex robots, and I think it was it Vice or it was
It
some,
would be
Vice or
Vice.
Vice or Axios or something like that. I saw it on YouTube because I wouldn't actually watch the fucking HBO show ever, but like. But you know, they look damn near realistic. It's like holy fuck, and they're like, oh, they're talking about how they got like warm insides or something, about warm vibrating insides.
Mm.
Or
Are they
something like that.
considered
Listen.
robots or androids then?
No, it's like they're robots. They're
No,
sex AI
androids would be
robots.
sentient. Yeah, androids would be able to like.
well, it's
They can
it's
gather
forget the
information. Like
definition exactly.
it's crazy. It was the craziest thing I ever seen. I'm like, look, humanity's over right here. Like,
Well, I mean, you could say the same thing about you know, OnlyFans and Instagram models, and
You look at fucking Vibrant.
I
you know
had
what I mean. It's
Yeah,
the same
like-
kind of thing.
Guys, I had beef with one of those girls.
like
Me too, actually. Earlier today, I had my first Twitter fight, my very first one. 1 year, into my Twitter account, and I had my first real spat.
wait, you had a Twitter spat with an Apex Gamma?
Yeah, apparently.
No
I didn't know she
e-girls.
was
No
an e-girl.
e-girls.
You're not.
Well, she
you're
has
not
one
sup-
arm.
You're not supposed to fight them. You're supposed to. Oh, I'm a bad influence on young Sean here, but
Oh, shit.
you know, he's.
Don't tell T.
Oh, yep, it's over.
Hey, she's online now. She's playing Sims though, so maybe she won't hear.
all,
I mean, I can see it now. I can see it now, like the argument, like you're going into argument with a girlfriend or whatever. Like, okay, no, you know what? I'm sick of this shit. Fuck you. I'm gonna hang out with Christy 2.0. All right, I'm sick of this shit. Let's go.
She's got a new update on her model.
Oh my God, you guys! I have an important announcement to make. My power is back on, as well as the rest of my neighborhood. 2.5 hours later, I seem to have figured it out. So I won't have to leave this call because my phone's gonna die and I was gonna run out of data.
Wait, what was that fight you got into with the e-girl, Donnie?
That was me. Oh, Donnie.
No, Donnie said you got in a fight too. I'm curious. What was the brawl like?
I actually can't remember which post she jumped on, but she jumped on one of the posts and like started talking smack. And she clearly just wanted attention because we're going through a pandemic right now, economic crisis, and she needs some money. So she was probably coming for conservatives and saying stuff because they could see little pictures of her boobs and stuff on her page, and it didn't really work out too great. But they were nicer to her though because of it. But no, but she was attacking me, and I remember what post it was now. The video I made with myself and Mel, and we are saying that not all conservatives look alike, and like we're aren't conservative women beautiful, and she was like, oh well, why do you have to be beautiful to be conservative? That's how she came over, and then she played victim and acted like I said something bad to her, and actually someone else said something to her, but it wasn't that bad. But eventually, I had to end up blocking her. But like, she got her one day of trying to find some customers.
Wow.
That's amazing. Well,
Man, they're fucking nasty, dude. Just stay away. Thoughts be gone.
Be gone.
A year ago, Sammy here suggested that I do so. I don't have any social media. I started a YouTube account on a whim, and I started the Twitter account basically as an attachment to my YouTube, so I never really used it. But various people that would pop up in the feed when I would look through it, the random times I did, I would follow them. And there was this one young lady. I kind of figured she was sort of an e-thought, but whatever. She had one arm. She had actually recently lost her arm. She's like 23 or 24 years old, or maybe, I don't know, 25, 26. But she spent most of her life with two arms, and now she has one arm. And she is very pretty. So I followed her. But today she posted a picture of her and another female kissing each other with masks on, and the tagline in the photo said, "Masks are sexy." And I just said, "No, sweetie, they're not." And I got a fucking barrage, like I didn't even know existed, of all of her simps and herself. Well, first she called me she said, "Fuck you, nerd," which I responded by calling her other mean words, but I was trying to be civil. I'm like, look, I was actually a fan of yours.
I was just trying to say words, but I was trying to be civil. No, I'm just fucking.
Masks aren't sexy. People are sexy. You put masks on people's face, they're less sexy than without those masks.
Wow.
That's all I'm trying to say.
How is it sexy? Like, you can't even like do anything with a fucking mask on with your mouth. It's distracting from it.
Well, that's the other thing. This picture, she's making out with this girl or kissing this girl. They both got masks on. What do they got? Flavors inside of there? What are those fabrics made out of?
To be fair, though, Mr. Gamma, both of their faces could be busted, and they could be actually doing us a huge service.
Well,
like, could you imagine two busted faces kissing? That would be disgusting. But if they have masks on, that's actually not that bad. Might actually be sexy,
That's a fair argument. Except I've been following this girl, and I know what she and most people look like without a mask on. Okay. Yeah, I mean, for sure, some people would look better with a full fucking Batman costume on than they would with street clothes on. But I mean, generally speaking, masks are not fucking sexy. They're pathetic, is what they are. If you're sick, wear a mask or stay home.
Like,
if you gotta be on.
She might be a Melina. She might be a Melina, though. Yes, that's a Mortal Kombat reference. Okay.
I was gonna say, is that seriously a Mortal Kombat fucking reference?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, this goes back to the point that I brought up on tonight's show for the Whitfield Report once again. I hate the fact that like people are like are acting as if like wearing a mask is like somehow as if it somehow equals like being virtuous or something like oh I'm such a good person because I wear a mask during a pandemic
No, those
and
are
it's
the.
like
You're right.
it's
Those
like
are the.
no, that doesn't determine whether or not you're a good person. That just means that you don't want to that you're limiting you know
Cat Turd.
COVID or
Cat Turd
something.
said it best.
You're so fucking
Like
right.
yesterday, I think on Twitter, he said, "Masks are the new snake oil. Prove me wrong with science."
Yeah,
Well,
no.
okay,
This
so
is the
here,
new. This is the new black square. Like it's the same pieces of shit that put the fucking black square on their Instagram page. They're like,
Mhm.
see, I'm actually a good person because I put a black square on my Instagram page. Like, no, you're still a piece of shit. In fact, you're probably more of a piece of shit because you put a black square on to keep other people from you sending their messages. Like that was the whole thing. Like if you're looking on the search thing for like on Instagram to see other people's messages, but all you see is a
Can you get?
barrage of black boxes. Like no, you were a piece of shit for blocking their fucking message.
well,
Like what
here's
if
my
somebody?
question. Here's my question with those fucking masks. If masks are so effective against preventing the coronavirus, why did it sweep through Iran so bad when half the fucking population wear full body fucking burkas and shit
Yeah.
that are basically
Wait,
like masks, and the sunlight is like
Well,
it's a fucking desert, man.
I have a further addition to that question. If masks work, why the fuck are we releasing prisoners?
I
Why
have
doesn't
another
every prisoner
question.
just have a mask on?
If masks work, then why are places still closed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
And you know
obviously.
what? Listen, I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a second here.
mhm.
I can empathize, at least a little bit, with corporations and companies requesting the public to wear masks into their stores because those companies can't control the public. They don't know what those people are doing before they come in. So they can ask you. I mean, obviously, legally, they can't force you, but
Uh,
they can ask. Just like they can ask you to, you know, whatever. I don't know. Any other
That
thing they ask you to do. But
that's
but but the employees of those stores, this is what really bothers me about all of this shit. The customers, me as a customer, if I walk into Walmart, which right now I'm not because fuck you, I'm not wearing a mask. But if I want to, if I need to, if I have to, I will walk around that store for 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, wearing that mask on my face. Those employees are mandated, are forced for at the risk of loss of employment and income to wear that mask on their face properly over their nose and mouth for 8+ hours,
Yeah.
5 days a week, with there's no oximeters, there's no hand washing stations, there's no fucking COVID test being paid by these corporations for their employees. They're just making them fucking wear masks for 8 hours a day, and that's
That's
bullshit.
yeah.
And
Well, that's
listen, customers, I get. I mean, again, I don't like it, but I get it. But without further, safety precautions being, passed down by these almighty fucking corporations, my company being one of them, I'm probably going to lose my job actually because I'm pushing back really fucking hard on some of these things, and I have people under me that I can't lie to, but I have to do my job. I have bills to pay, just like everybody else, But they're making employees sign a very ambiguous, like 2 sentence document that says, effectively that I will comply with any and all mandates by the company in response to the COVID pandemic. It says nothing about protecting the employees based on their measurements or anything like that. It's too ambiguous for my comfort. I don't like it. I trust my company, but I mean, I honestly wouldn't still work there if I didn't. But the it's kind of a big deal to me, the way the rapid rate at which a lot of the shit is going. And I mean, I tell my employees what I'm told to tell them, but behind the scenes, I am fighting very hard, and I seriously might lose my job because I keep being told to drop it. And I can cite all the fucking peer-reviewed studies that I can find, but it doesn't matter because it's optics, it's feelings, it's, you know, making people feel comfortable. It doesn't matter how I feel because I don't pay I don't pay the bills. They pay me, you know? So that's the
Well,
in my estimation, that's the real fucking problem right now. Go
well,
ahead,
even
whoever.
well, here's an even bigger problem. This is something I don't know if you guys have brought up yet, but like, I know the title of the stream is like, send the kids back to school, but here's my question. If we can't do that, and if we can't send, uh, also, the movie theaters are still going to be closed like in November. They've postponed all of the movies that were supposed to come out in November to like early 2021. So if we can't even like have restaurants, stores, or movie theaters open, right? How the hell are we going to vote and have like an election? I know everyone says that like, oh, do the mail-in, but fuck that. That's not a good idea at all, especially considering all the election fraud. So,
Yeah, like
I
fucking
think
Pennsylvania. My fucking dad, he got 2 ballots in for the primary. Good Lord knows what's gonna happen during the fucking actual elections. Like the
Yeah,
one.
Alex,
somebody,
do you have a
somebody's
mic?
cat, somebody's cat got a fucking mail-in ballot. Nobody saw
I
that.
saw that.
Did-
Yep.
Yeah, some
No.
fucking cat got a fucking mail-in ballot or some shit. Like what the hell?
Holy shit.
Alex,
I was,
you sound really far away, man. Is why I was asking.
Yeah, let me go a little closer. You gotta turn up the game. All right, that a little bit better.
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
little better.
Mucho.
So, something else. Well, I don't want to derail. I don't even know what the title of the stream. What was the title of the stream?
Well, we didn't even talk about that yet. Do you want to go and segue into that shit about
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Should we reopen schools or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, these teachers need to go back to being glorified babysitters again.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of my Twitter feed.
schools
But
need to be reopened and kids need to go back in person classes. There's no reason for kids not to be back in class.
Kids need to go to kids need to go back to school so that parents can go back to work.
And here's
Right.
another fucking pro tip. Good luck getting a child to go and wear a mask. You know, they can
oh
barely
yeah,
keep their fucking pants on. Good luck getting them to wear a fucking mask to school. Like, good lord, we couldn't even wear seatbelts on the bus because we'd be moving around like people were vaping in the backseat of the school bus. Like, good fucking luck with getting a kid to wear a mask for the whole fucking day. They'll be picking their nose,
Man,
they'll be picking their ass, ain't gonna be wearing no fucking mask.
that's amazing. Vaping in the back of the school. You know what I used to do on the school bus? I used to open the front windows so that the people in the back would be cold. That's what I did. That was the cool thing that I did on the bus when I was a kid.
See,
Or you know what? I would open the emergency exit and I would walk out the back instead of like the actual door. That was like the real hardcore thing to do.
see, when I was in high school, it was like,
Or you know what? What actually? I'm sorry. One time I made a sign that said my bus had been hijacked, and the cops got called, and my bus got pulled over. That's actually a real story that actually happened. I wasn't the only one involved, but me and my buddies were like, "Oh yeah, this will be funny." We'll, like hold signs up to cars driving by. Hey, our bus has been hijacked. Dude's a killer or something. I don't remember what the fuck was on the paper, but yeah, they called the cops.
that's fucking funny.
Texas. Surprised we didn't get shot.
See, like our school was in that perfect like time period, like right when vapes started becoming popular, but before there was regulations. So like the fucking track team went over to the fucking school bus and just like vaped out. Like they fucking hotboxed the whole bus, and like they
I
couldn't
could-
do anything about it because there's no laws against it. So they're like, hey, we catch you doing that, we're just gonna go and like fucking kick you out of the team. They're like, okay,
Right.
but they
I
couldn't.
actually, you know what?
For it.
I witnessed that period from like the outside. I just imagined what it would be like as a kid during that time. because I went to a vocational school as part of my high school education. Um, it was an alternative school, but it was an all adult school basically, and they had 45-minute breaks in between lunches and stuff. And because my campus was, or my school was on that campus, I got 45 minutes, and even like 16 and 17-year-old kids got cigarette breaks, which is just absurd. It's absurd. The teachers were right there. They knew. Oh, America's a great place. It used to be. Am I talking still? Sorry.
Yeah.
No, you're free. Ramble on, my friend.
Dude, my fucking school, we didn't have, like, we had people smoking in the bathrooms and stuff, but the big thing was dipping. Like, everyone was
Yeah.
dipping at my school. Like, I used to think people were, like, having diarrhea in the toilets, and I was like, oh, yeah, it's fucking dip. And I was like, oh,
Oh
shit.
yeah. I mean, there was one bathroom in my 6A high school that you could smoke in, and it was the drama high school, or the drama bathroom rather, because nobody was ever there. Um, it's far away from everything. But yeah, I mean, I personally, I think every kid should be homeschooled, but that requires a perfect world in which I can't even like begin to construct verbally or even mentally. Uh,
Yeah.
but you know the the merits of public education, not the actual education part, but the public interaction. I mean, I honestly can say I learned more from being in the environment than I actually learned from the curriculum. Because
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jesus, dude, this power thing is freaking me out, guys.
Dude, I feel you. Like, even in college, I felt the same way. It's like more about who you're with. Like, honestly, I kind of wish that we had more like, especially for COVID. I think that boarding schools would actually be the solution to the COVID pandemic. Like, if people were bitching about that, which, to be fair, I
Right?
don't see why teachers, if you can have Walmart employees risking their ass and like everyone else, why are teachers able to go and get a fucking get out of jail free pass? Everyone else is having to go into work. Fucking teachers should as well. Why shouldn't they? So I'm gonna play fucking devil's advocate because I'd love to go and hear some reasoning why we should go and close schools again.
Because they work with the Democrats.
Yeah, because they're fucking teachers unions. That's why. No one gives
Mm-hmm.
a fuck if some dude from Walmart dies of COVID. But heaven forbid a teacher dies. Heaven forbid anything happens with these teachers. It's not like they're particularly like world class in America. Like our education system's like pretty shit, honestly. Like especially public school. Like unless you're in like a really good school district.
Because because we don't give them enough money, though. Uh,
It's
that
funny they say that, but then they get off of almost every holiday, right? And then they
no,
have summer off.
no,
What
but
other
Donnie,
job
like,
can you do that?
yeah, yeah, I know, but Donnie, like that's always the excuse I hear is, but we don't get enough money, and it's like seriously, it's like California literally gives like a new iPad to like every student, like
Well, here's another thing that pisses me off is they bitch like, oh, school teachers have to go and provide stuff for their students. Well, do you know who else has to go and buy their own fucking supplies? Like fucking plumbers, electricians, car mechanics. Like my buddy had to go and spend a shit ton of money to Snap-on guy paying for fucking tools. You know,
Yeah,
Fucking
and the
snap on guys, man.
police like, oh, we're not going to come back and teach until you defund the police. Like what?
like how? Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, no. I'd love to see that defund the police and then just have the fucking teachers deal with the like gangster students at their fucking schools. I would love to see that because like honestly like I was in a pretty good school district but we still need like there's a few times where like some fights got out of hand but I've seen inner city schools before. Like I was from fucking Maryland, man. You don't want to go and piss off the fucking police and tell them to leave because if you do you're gonna get like fucking chains and fucking knives and shit over in your school district.
well and see like that's the other thing too. Um, is like all these Democrats who are like, we don't need armed security guards in schools. We don't need, we don't need, teachers that know how to shoot. Like that could be dangerous. Like just leave it to the cops. These are the same people who are now like defund the police, and it's like, well, which is it? Defend, defund the police, or like give teachers the chance to defend their students? And it's like pick one, but you can't do both. So,
Oh no, it's a have your cake and eat it too type of scenario.
They want
oh God.
they want chaos because chaos favors the establishment.
That's right. Chaos serves very few, and it serves them well, and it has for a long time.
Yeah, no, it makes me sad. Like honestly, like I could not stand to be a fucking like K through 12 teacher, but like we really do need more conservative fucking teachers because there's so much fucking communist propaganda in our school system, and I don't know
I'm
how
not
we're
gonna
gonna.
lie, man. I mean, I grew up in the South, uh, but my English teacher in seventh grade was a black man, and he stands out as the most conservative, outspokenly conservative person of my youth that I can think of. But I had extremely liberal teachers too. So I mean, in the deep south of Texas, deep in the pine trees, in the fucking swamps, uh, I uh, I mean, I had a pretty diverse childhood. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't. I didn't have a huge population, but the population that I did have, you know, there weren't many uh, black people or Mexicans or any other South American, excuse me, um, people in my school district or whatever. But the few that were, you know, it's so hard to describe, but they were more revered than anything because they were. It was like having a snow leopard in your backyard, kind of thing. Like, oh my god, what do we? How do we? How do we? How do we treat you the right way? What do we do to make you happy? And again, I'm speaking from like my memory as a child, but I don't even remember why I started telling this story. I do this too often. Why do you guys let me on this show?
No, no, like I feel you too. Like my school didn't have any black teachers. Like the closest thing to diversity we had was like a fucking redhead. And like we had two redheads, but they're both Latin teachers.
Like
And then like some kid asked the fucking teacher in Latin, was like, does the fucking what was that? Does the curtains match the drapes? Because like she was like so fucking redheaded. Like she got so pissed, and she had to go and tell her class what a fucking phallus was because no one fucking knew. Like you can the fuck out of that teacher.
So my
we have
my eighth grade English teacher was a Cowboys cheerleader.
Mm.
She was a Cowboys
Yeah.
cheerleader before the Cowboys went to Titans, she was an Oilers cheerleader. I'm sorry, before the Oilers moved to the Titans, and then she became a Texans cheerleader. After she taught eighth grade English for 4 years or something like that. So the short time she was an English teacher, she was mine. She had a tattoo on her ankle that she put 3 band-aids over to cover it. Three like horizontal 1, 2, 3, top to bottom. It was like a butterfly or some shit. But she absurd.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Like we had this one fucking biology teacher. I forget what his name was, but like it was in high school. The first day in class, he was like, "Yeah, you know what they say about like Mountain Dew, where it kills your sperm count. You know, don't trust that shit. Cause I got like 3 kids now, and I drink Mountain Dew every day. So careful." He was so fucking laid back too. He just like I'm pretty sure like I talked to someone later, and apparently like he sold pot to him, but like. He'd always come in and he'd be like, "Oh, I need my coffee." He never had a fucking coffee cup. He's like always like antsy the fucking mornings about that. But he was pretty fucking cool. He'd go and like let's watch like Spaceballs. We did like 2 labs that entire year, with one of those labs being like the here's how to do a lab. Like we literally did fucking nothing for that entire.
Yeah.
But he was awesome. Like we watched fucking Biodem, Spaceballs, like just a ton of just random shit. And I remember playing on the fucking computer the whole time because
Well, that kind of personifies my argument as to why I think schools need to be reopened, because I mean, there are things you learn from social gatherings, especially as a youth, that you cannot supplement elsewhere. You just
Hmm.
can't. And good or bad, especially the bad, actually, uh, those are things, again, you cannot, those are things that can't be taught. They can only be taught from as a reaction to. You know what I mean? Like you can't preemptively teach your child that evil people exist. I mean, you can try and you can show them evidence of such, but until they fucking experience a really bad person, their interpretation of an evil or just a bad person, they have no idea what you're talking about. Again, from experience, I had people tell me shit my whole childhood. You better do this or this is going to happen. Oh, fuck you. I know what I'm doing. I'm 12. I'm 14 now. Fuck you. And now I'm over 30 and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Why didn't I listen to any of those people? You know?
Yeah, no,
I
I just
mean,
like
What
fucking
happened to this?
kid.
What happened to the Scared Straight fucking program where they sent
what
these
happened
kids?
to Dare, as Donnie pointed out recently on Twitter? What the fuck
We-
ever happened to Dare?
Dude, that was so
Didn't-
fucking bullshit of a program. Let's be real here. Like, no one knew about these drugs beforehand, and then like half my friends were like, "Oh, cool. What's a fucking barbiturate?"
Oh, you
That's
mean I can get high off of
Yeah.
this shit? That's awesome, man.
You mean I can lick frogs and get fucking high? Are you kidding me?
Oh my
dude, I
god.
knew
Nutmeg. Nutmeg. Wait, nutmeg that I can buy at the grocery store? I can eat nutmeg and get high.
dude, I knew this fucking high school who would like fucking deal drugs and shit, and he drove his car around. He wore a fucking Dare shirt every fucking day, and he had the bumper sticker on his car so he won't get pulled over by cops. Like, it's just so fucking stupid.
Maybe Dare was one of those undercover pedo rings that we just haven't discovered yet.
Yes. Like, I just didn't think it was fucking useful, to be honest.
You know what though, Apex, you might not be wrong about that. Like,
I might not be wrong about a lot of things, Sammy, but go ahead.
like it's just um the Derek Hop that I had in middle school was he was actually pretty cool. I liked him, but he had like originally been like a homicide detective like for the Denver Police Department, and so I asked him, I'm like, Officer Livingston, I'm like, I don't know how to ask this, but I'm like, how do you go from a homicide detective for like 20 years to a Derek cop? I'm like that seems like a little bit of a wacky transition, and he just goes, yeah, he goes, well, being a Derek cop beats the hell out of staring at dead bodies all day. Which I mean, I guess you know.
You can't really argue with that. But to kind of bridge on that story, the one and only Dare cop that I've known personally, outside of my childhood growing up in Texas, was 10 years ago when I moved up to the area that I live in now. And this this fucking cop used to park his car at this girl's house. She was 16 years old. She was 16 years old. And they were basically openly dating. Not really, I mean, they didn't go out places, but he would go to her house with her parents there and do God knows what right next door to my house. So, I mean, that
They
was
got
pretty
haircuts,
fucking,
man.
that was pretty awful. But, I can't, I don't, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, no, like, see, like, we didn't have like a dedicated Dare cop. I know where like chief of police came in a bunch with that program. Like, it just wasn't fucking effective. Like, honestly, like, I don't know, just show the kids like fucking Arrowhead or something. Just like, hey, this is what drugs do. Don't fucking do them because But,
Did you just say Earwood?
yeah, just like don't fucking give them lies. Like that's the biggest problem.
my
They're like,
God.
oh, like I remember my fucking health teacher in 7th grade or 8th grade. She had this poster in the back of her class. It was like Mary Jane smoked marijuana at like 12:50 a.m. And then like it ends with her like jumping off the fucking building, getting like shit like stitches or something put on her fucking bed. So like this is so fucking fake. Like I'm sure you could have had it laced with something, but like let's be real here. If you're saying that the reason you shouldn't smoke pot is because it's laced with, then that's not like a thing like why pot should be illegal. It's a thing for why we should have it legalized and like at least fucking standardized somewhere.
What was crazy about Dare was like the way Dare like talked about marijuana. You would have thought it was like LSD or some shit like
Same
that.
way my mom talked about marijuana. She
Well,
just didn't realize she didn't realize she told me the same story 15 years apart. She told me the same story about marijuana as about LSD, but literally identical. Sitting in a chair, the same color chair, and watching her friend's face melt.
You
Oh,
know
I
what I
smoked weed
you
when
know
I
what
was
I
12, and I watched my friend's face melt. I was sitting in a brown chair.
you know what I hate about Dare?
What?
God,
that it's gay.
you can get out of it by telling the truth.
Mhm.
Like they
Oh, dad
Okay,
joke.
okay, that's a shitty joke. Okay, got it.
I actually didn't hear the first part of it.
No,
I missed the dad joke.
yeah, it was like you know what I don't like about Dare? Like you could get out of it by telling the truth.
Yeah, it's fucking true, man.
Truth or dare. Yeah. Fucking Fluffy Phil for the
It's
win.
funny
I love
because
it.
it's a truth or dare joke, huh? Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna steal that one.
I
I
think you can have it, Donnie.
I
Thank you.
actually got one of my Twitter followers actually complimented Pluffy Phil the other day.
Oh.
He uh I think it was a he, but it could have been a she. I'm not sure.
Did you just
He,
assume
Said
everything?
she, whatever, man.
said well, Phil is pretty nice for an ex-military guy. So
See, you should
Oh,
change
how
it.
sweet.
True, man. No, I'm just playing. No.
How sweet.
No, you want to hear something funny? I I was talking to this chick, and I think I grossed her out by saying a really messed up joke. Would you like to hear it?
Yes.
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 Okay,
yes,
so everybody knows who Chris D'Elia is, right?
yes,
Yes.
Okay.
Negative.
Okay,
Crystalia.
he's the comedian who got in trouble with a bunch of
Oh, okay.
talking a
Yeah,
bunch
you've
of
heard
underage
of him,
girls.
Donnie. For sure, you've heard
So
of him.
so
Yeah.
I was like, hey, you know Chris D'Elia is, right? She's like, yes. I was like, he's playing baseball now, right? It's like, what? I thought he was a comedian. And he's like, yeah, but because he got in trouble, he's now playing baseball. It's like, really? And I was like, yeah, but he's playing in the infield because he gets very uncomfortable when there's grass on the field.
Oh. Oh.
Uh,
She didn't
Phil.
like she didn't like the joke, but hey.
hey, you change that shit to
I-
filthy Phil, man. Fucking hell.
I hate to. I don't even want to say that this tops you, but it totally just reminded me. Yesterday, I was at my local bar, and I was ordering food, and I was drinking a beer, waiting for my food, and there was some drunk fucking old man sitting next to me. I mean, I'm living in a podunk fucking area, so it's all a bunch of rednecks and shit, but no big deal, whatever. And in walks, the door opens, and I look over, and there's two young ladies walk in, and one of them is exceptionally gorgeous, and she's a black girl. I've never seen her before. I don't know where she's from, but she's with her friend, and as they sit down and order their drinks or whatever, and I very politely walked over, and I think verbatim I said, I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't mean to be rude, but you are gorgeous. I just wanted to tell you that." And I walked back to my seat. which she said, she said thank you, and it was, whatever. But as soon as I sat down, this drunk old man sitting next to me had just received a drink from someone else across the bar, and I can't even frame this the right way. As soon as I sit down, there's like this little thing that just happened with this girl. And like, I was just trying to be polite and I was being honest. I wasn't actually trying to hit on her. I was just trying to tell her that she's beautiful. And I thought so because she was. Uh, as soon as my ass hits the seat, this dude out of my periphery, he picks his drink up and he's like, "Hey, thanks, Kenny. White power." And he fucking starts to take the drink. And he I don't think this man is racist. I don't know him actually that well. He's a regular at the bar, but he is definitely an old white man. And 2 seats away from him is the very pretty black girl that I just hit on, uh, so to speak. And her head, of course, snaps over my direction. And I'm sitting between her and him. And all she sees is me. And I'm like, it's like silently, I'm like, no, 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 like, no, not me. That was him. I didn't say that. It was for like 8 seconds or so. It was the most awkward thing I've ever felt. And then I couldn't stop laughing. It was the funniest thing. I mean, her overt attractiveness was gone. I couldn't even, like, just the comedy of the situation. I almost peed myself. I actually spit beer because after right about the 8 second mark, when I was like, "This is really fucking awkward," the dude leans over and he's like, "I can't fucking." He didn't mean to say it. He wasn't trying to be racist. He was just.
What the
He
fuck?
thought it was
How do
funny.
you feel white power if you're not trying to?
He thought it was funny. He thought it was funny for whatever reason. He's a fucking drunk old redneck white dude. Whatever. I don't know him well enough to know if he is racist, but I don't really care.
Alex,
But no. He leans over to me and he's like, "Could you apologize to her for me? Because I'm actually not racist." This old white dude tries to explain to me that he's not racist after he just yelled "white power" across the bar, next to a pretty black girl. Listen, guys, I can't even I can't describe how funny it was to me because it was not funny, and so funny. It was so funny.
Dude,
I
need
don't
to
know.
fucking move to the south, man. Like, there's some funny shit going on down there. Fuck it.
You'd be surprised how not south I am.
I don't know. Like, the closest thing I had to that was when I put like fucking meat spin on Sean's computer when he was like not on his computer, his roommate's computer, and then his roommate comes in and Sean's trying to go and turn it off, and like, yeah, it was pretty fucking funny. And then his fucking roommate thought he was putting meat spin on his computer.
I mean, ultimately, the story ended with 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 me leaning over eventually and going, "Hey, he was just joking. I don't know I don't know this dude, but he wanted me to apologize." She's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Oh, he said white power something earlier." She's like, I don't even care." I'm like, "Oh, cool." So I just made a fucking fool of myself. Thanks, asshole. Twice.
She probably.
You should have
She
got her
probably knew.
number. What are you
She
talking
probably
about? She
knew.
sounds cool.
No, Donnie. She was awesome, and up to the white power moment, I felt great.
Did
And
she
even
probably
after
thought
that,
you
I
were
was like,
fucking crazy?
you know what? I felt great after that because it was just funny. I didn't say it. I'm the one that fucking cut. She is fucking gorgeous, and it's like most women are. I want to say most women. Seriously, most women are fucking gorgeous.
Oh, don't say
I
that.
don't care what skin color they are.
Fucking 50% of women are fucking ugly and 50% are pretty. Yeah, look up.
No, no, I disagree. I disagree. I think
You can't
most women are
fucking
beautiful. I
right.
think most people are beautiful. We got a lot of ugly shit on the outside,
Well,
male
then
and
what's the
female.
value
They
in that
say that
person being
they
special
say
and
that true
everybody's
beauty's on the
beautiful?
inside.
Okay, yeah, if you want to
What?
get all philosophical with that shit, sure, but like,
They say true beauty's on the inside. That's
No,
said by
Donnie, what did you say?
said by a bunch of ugly people.
I
Anyway,
was
go ahead.
saying like if everyone's beautiful, it doesn't make it as special. Like, oh, half the
we
Ah,
need
world
no
looks
fucking
attractive.
communists
That's
over
okay.
here, man.
well,
Some people are
no,
more
Some
that's
of these
true.
people are fucking hideous.
I
Sam.
think I I think beauty is a is a scale, just like intelligence or height or anything else. I think.
Some of
Yes,
these
I
people are
agree, and
extremely light on the scale.
Yeah,
I
like
I,
there's
Yeah,
I,
well,
agree, I agree it's a scale, and Donnie is an 11.
uh,
Oh,
wait,
On the scale.
why wouldn't you just make 10 higher than 11? Well, because this one goes to 11. That's why.
oh,
well,
I got a.
there is objective beauty though. Do you agree or disagree? Like there are certain things that are universally fucking disgusting. Like you see some girl with like fucking 20 chins walking in on like a fucking
Or a 300-pound woman in bicycle shorts. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah,
No,
like
yeah, no, for sure. Look, I do not disagree with that one bit. And there are absolutely disgusting people in this world,
There,
but I'm not saying that they are beautiful just because they are the way they are. But I'm not saying because they're fat and got 35 fucking chins and can't get out of bed that there's not something beautiful in them
oh yeah,
because
no, I'm
they're
not
human
saying
beings.
that, but like we're
That's
talking
what I'm saying.
about aesthetics. Like you see a fucking like a supermodel walking in, and you see like Rosie O'Donnell walking. There's a difference. Okay, we're not just
Well, wait a minute. Because if that supermodel opens her mouth and goes, duh, 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 and Rosie O'Donnell says something fucking hilarious and awesome,
They
I
cancel
mean,
out though.
where's the scale?
well, like you
Where's the scale of that?
well,
be beautiful and
well,
be a dumbass.
Apex, it's Rosie O'Donnell, though. I mean, come
Hey,
on.
shut up, Sam. I'm making a point here. Leave me alone.
Like you can be beautiful, and be a fucking brain dead potato, and you can also be like fucking the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and then like be as smart as Stephen Hawking. But there is a beauty is still beauty. It's its own separate fucking category. You know.
No, there's no doubt, and I, I just think that it's skin deep in a lot of ways. The things portray just like everything else that's portrayed by mass media and mass publications of various sorts. You know, the beauty standards and everything else. What I see in front of me that I find attractive, I don't care what standards it meets. Like if you, I can't say honestly that I've looked at someone that was morbidly obese and was like, "You're fucking sexy." Like that's never happened. That's not what I'm trying to argue here. But I can look at a woman that's 40, 50, maybe even 60 pounds, 70 pounds overweight, and I can see beyond what what's there. I mean, I can see pretty eyes and I can see a personality and I can see, you know, we're not just what we are on the outside. And
Do you think you're
that's my
handsome?
point. What?
Do you think you're handsome?
No.
That might see. Okay, right there. Sometimes when you think you're lower, then you'll accept lower.
Yeah, man, it's like
That's
buying
true.
a car, man. You know.
But I'm also
Hey,
humble. I mean, I don't think I'm ugly, but I also don't think I'm handsome. I'm not God's gift to anything other than you know, God and those that
so
choose to be in my life.
I
So,
got you.
I mean, I don't I mean, there's Donnie's your argument is fair. That's actually it's legit in a lot of ways for myself and most people. When people don't have they have a substandard for themselves, they look at the rest of the world with that standard. So they don't think they're good enough for things that they should be,
Yeah,
theoretically good
and
enough
then
for.
and when you think that way too, people start to target you. Like you might get someone who think it looks really great, and then she has a great personality, but then like, you might let her mistreat you because you might feel
Yeah,
less than her.
yeah, no doubt. I mean, but I don't want to say uh,
Do
let's
y'all
just
think
say I'm
Chrissy's hot?
who
Chrissy, the disgusting lady. Do y'all think she's attractive, like visually?
who I don't know who that is.
I don't even.
Pizzagate Chrissy.
Oh, the Tegan, Christy Teigen.
Tegan?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, she's fucking horrifying.
She, I
she
used
used
to
to be
think she
hot.
was hot, but
She used to be hot like 15 years ago.
Yeah, like fucking
Yeah,
Carol.
when the filters fit her better.
Yeah.
no,
I,
she's a case of like she's such a bitch that even if she's a 10, I just can't get
Mhm.
uh past it. So
Now, see, my take on, well, I don't want to say my take, but my rubric for beauty in women is, you know, no makeup, fucked up hair. Like if I could wake up next to you and open my eyes and go, holy shit, you're beautiful, which is again, most women I've met at this point in my life, maybe not by a wide margin. 55% of the women I've met in my life are like that. Um,
well,
that's just the way.
Apex,
That's just the way I feel
Apex,
personally.
you're also from Texas, and Texas. Every time I've been there, I swear to God, Texas is like the Israel of the United States. There's nothing but like angels.
Texas,
I thought that
Texas
was
does Texas does everything better, including Donnie's.
I agree.
Honestly, yeah, there are a lot of good-looking people in Texas.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good
Johnny
people,
Arcade
and a
also
lot of them
wants
have
to
good hearts.
Johnny Arcade also wants to know, is Apex a feminist? Which
I mean, I like pussy, but
I'm gonna go lean towards the
we
no
all
category
do.
on that one. No, I'm just playing.
Besides me,
Look,
Yeah.
so here's something. Um, I know this is kind of branching off topic, but you see, so Jerry Sandusky's back on trial, right? I guess he got a retrial. So the court the court the trial thing happened, and and I guess the judge got upset at Jerry and was like, "Look, all right, I'm sick of your shit. Okay, I'm gonna put you back in the hole. How does 10 to 15 years sound?" And Jerry Sandusky looks at him and goes, "That sounds fantastic."
All right, well, let's be real here. Like, I've seen him go on trial for so much fucking time, so many retrials. Can we just go like fucking execute that douchebag?
Mhm.
Like, why do we need to be so pussy about the fucking death penalty? Like,
wait a
just get it
minute.
over with. He's never gonna be fucking useful in society. Just
That
don't.
brings up a good segue. How does the panel feel about Ghislaine Ghislaine Maxwell
Fuck's
and
Jelaine.
what her future holds?
Oh, that's the woman that's about to kill herself.
Yeah,
For
we talked about that on the first hour of the Whitfield report, and everyone in the chat, at least last hour, said she was going to get COVID. So
What does she do? Is she licking toilet bowls? Is she one of those people?
Well, listen, I think that they are going. I say they in quotes, air quotes, because I don't see how it's even remotely fucking possible for them to get away with anything close to the Epstein suicide, quote unquote suicide. If, the theoretical suicide, the hypothetical, whatever you want to fucking call it. I don't see how. I mean, they're already putting her in fucking paper clothes and in solitary confinement and shit. I don't.
but have you seen any pictures of her, like recent pictures? I haven't.
No, no, there hasn't been any. I don't think.
Yeah,
But that's
Maybe it's like
good.
the Sixth Sense, and she's already dead.
I honestly think that they got everything they needed from her before they gave it to the news. That would have been smart.
I don't know, man. I don't know, because
I
the
bet
whole
that's not the
Epstein.
royal. That royal family's involved. You know that shit, right?
Yeah, dude, that whole Epstein thread runs fucking deep, man. And like it's actually it's hard and very depressing to look into, which I mean I've done for years periodically, but I can't even comprehend a lot of it. It makes
I want
sense.
everyone to be punished. I want everyone to be punished
I don't
publicly. And here's the thing: we can't keep living like people like not realizing what's going on because it's going to keep happening. So people are going to have to get disgusted and feel bad about with who they've idolized or really like looked up to, because then you have to really start questioning. You want to start looking into it more before you start doing that. Like, not don't idolize, period, but like actually looking up to people and listening to their advice. People are going to have to do that. I think it has to happen. Is it going to be a sad year or whenever it happens? Sure, but we have to. We're not children; we're adults.
Man, I wish I wish I had that that optimistic a view on it, man. Like I
That's
feel
what I
like
want to happen. I don't know if it will happen. That's what I want to
okay,
happen.
well well listen, I co-sign that 100%, but just that's why I'm standing up to. I mean, I've basically been a corporate shill for various companies for most of my adult life, just fucking kowtowing to do what I'm told, get my paycheck. It's never been that egregious, but wear a uniform, come to work on time, that sort of thing. That's not that hard. But at this point, that's why I feel I'm probably going to lose my job and my livelihood, and my home. Uh, I mean, there's a lot of potential negatives to the stances that I'm taking, and a lot of this is hypothetical for me at this point. But I'm just basing it on the environment in which I'm reacting to and the responses I'm getting. The drop it tagline from my superiors up to regional vice presidents and shit uh, are frequent at this point. So I don't I don't I don't I'm not comfortable with the immediate future. I have faith in Americans as a whole, um, but the cowardice of the I shouldn't say cowardice, but the meekness of the right in this current state is troubling, because I would rather have civil war right now than what I see going on around me. Or seriously, I would rather be fucking fighting my neighbors physically than what I see happening right now. It would at least the lines would be at least more firmly drawn. At least we would know where we all stand a little more, and it wouldn't be, you know, Civil War 2.0, North versus South, East versus West, whatever. Instead of, I mean, even liberals versus Republicans, Democrats versus Republicans. It's not that doesn't the line is not fine enough. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Am I here? Okay, good.
Yes.
I thought I got kicked.
No, 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 no. I get you. Like, that'd be a fun experiment. Like, fucking, like doing a fucking Civil War fucking simulation. That'd be fun.
Well,
Like not in real life.
the
Like,
new American the new American Revolution, I dubbed it probably 10 years ago when I was still a liberal. I mean, I feel like it's inevitable. I mean, with things like affirmative action and just I mean, I'm not a listen. I'm not against equal rights of any sort, of any kind, but mandating them legally is against like the foundation of this country. You know,
Mhm.
prejudice is allowed. It exists in all living things. If you put a duck with a chicken, they are most likely not going to coexist very well. The duck, being bigger, is probably going to kill that chicken and fucking eat it because they're dinosaurs. That's what happens. You put, I mean, listen, we're human beings, so obviously we're above chickens and ducks. But the point still scales to a degree. Prejudice exists, and people are allowed to have that, and people are allowed to judge. People are allowed to think for them fucking selves, and as long as you're not hurting people, and as long as you're not actively stopping people from bettering themselves, there should be no reason in this country, or really any place on this fucking planet at this point, that you can't do that. Uh, you know,
Oh, go ahead.
oh, what's going on?
You know,
I
you
I
know,
I
you,
I was
Go
just
ahead.
gonna add on, and people should be allowed to make fucking jokes too.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, no shit, man. Like,
Like when I said, that Jerry Sandusky was seen at a mall, the other day, and he was pissed. Like he was bitching out a manager at a mall. It was like he asked for a pair of Vans, and he was pissed off that they gave him some sneeze shoes, man.
Weren't they also pissed off that like they ran out of like boys' underwear or something like that?
Yeah, no, he was pissed off that the boys' underwear was half off and not completely. No, never mind.
Uh,
It
oh
sounds
yeah.
like he needed somebody to take his frustrations out of him.
Okay, Sal of Earth said, "Remember when we were liberals? I canvassed for Bernie. Yeah, no, I never fucking canvassed for Bernie. Fuck that dude. He lied to me. You know, like to fucking everybody. Like he's just a fucking sellout, man. Like I don't know what people saw in him. Like I never supported Bernie Sanders. I never fucking would. That dude's, like is he a fucking communist?
But
That's
this is
terrible.
people are stupid. All you got to do is read a fucking economics book to realize that the things that Bernie Sanders says is full of shit.
Look at a fucking history book. Look how often communism led to fucking shit. It's every
Yeah.
single time. They keep trying it again. It's like literally the definition of insanity according to like fucking what was it, Far Cry 3, Do the same shit over and over again, you expect different results. Fucking insanity.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like a quote I'm about to butcher. You know, nothing worth obtaining in life doesn't come for free, and everything Bernie is offering is free crap. Like what? So for me, I'm like, we're not offering anything of value because everything you're saying is
yeah,
like, and then you're
nothing,
trying to like buy
nothing,
votes. I think that should be illegal.
nothing
Trying
in
to
life. Go ahead, Donnie. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead. 'Cause I may have said it wrong.
I was just gonna say that nothing in life comes easy. Nothing in life worth having
That's
is
it.
free. There's various versions of it, but what you said is basically correct, and that's why most freedom-loving Americans don't side with Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, and I know people who said they just wanted to vote for him because they wanted their student loans forgiven. I'm like, so you're willing to risk your freedom for your
Selfish.
student loans?
Yeah,
Yeah,
most
like
people would be.
Then
I mean, that's the problem with politics in in the modern day, man. Like it's as free and open as information is. Shit is so focused on immigration or gun laws or the wall. I mean, which is immigration, I guess, but racism. Let's fucking, you know what I mean? Like information is so freely available, but I learned from my first official Twitter fight earlier that real like information and facts mean literally nothing. They mean nothing to most of these people arguing against what I would say this panel's side of most of these arguments.
you're right
I
about
am
that. I think those people who do that and come in like to argue, I feel like they feel like they can just come and attack and say things bad about other people and there's no consequences because most cases, you don't know who they are in
yeah
life. And then
yeah
they
yeah
may hate their life or they're full of just hate in general because they've been pumped with hate. And I keep thinking to myself, like, if you guys, and then it's like, oh, if you bring up Christianity or God or something, like, oh, don't bring that up. It's like, well, you can't like you can't ignore it just being a good person if you want to bring up God. Like what you're saying is still morally wrong.
yeah, like these people, they don't have an objective morality. They think everything in the world is subjective, which is fucking wrong. Like that's my biggest thing with like Democrats
that's
and
a
like the liberal mindset is they do not have an objective truth. Everything is in the eye of the fucking beholder, and that
it's
quickly
right.
starts
No,
doing.
that's right on the fucking money, Alex.
And
Right on
that's
the
what
money.
they'll try to fucking do because it starts with that. It's like, oh, there is some like, and usually that starts out with something that was actually fucking wrong. And, was, like racism or like, gender, being a douchebag to women and stuff. And then it starts morphing into like, oh, we have 30 genders, and oh, animals can consent, children can consent to sex, and it's just like, oh, like no, like they're already starting to go into that stuff. Like there's fucking
Oh
animal
god.
brothels in fucking
Honestly,
Germany.
I
It's
think the left gave people the tools excuses to make for the things they wanted to do that were bad already. Like now they're like, oh, this
Yeah.
is acceptable. Now I can do it. And so, oh,
Yep.
you're wrong because they gave them a reason why it was okay to do it. So now it's like it's acceptable. So I'm not wrong. You're wrong.
Well, it's not even that. It's like in regards to like gay marriage, right? It's like I don't really care if you're, gay or whatnot. Like if you're if you're gay, like I might not like understand it or like agree with it like, personally, but
Sam,
you
if
know,
if those if those if those homos want to be as miserable as the rest of us straight people, then let them.
well,
I don't
Sorry.
know. Like,
that's like that's kind of the point, and that is what I agree with. But like now, it's not good enough to be gay. Now like I have to like be down with like trannies, and it's like what? It's like what's the problem with just being gay? It's like and
Right.
that's like a point. That's a point that Gavin McGinnis brought up like a few years ago
Dude,
that I agree with.
Jordan
It's like
Peterson too. Jordan Peterson brought up too. He's for standing against the pronoun thing back in 2015 or 2016 or whatever. I mean, he elaborated on more than one occasion about the dozens, if not I don't know, maybe dozens, if not hundreds of emails slash letters that he'd received from transsexual people that were like, "Thank you, because these fucking lunatics don't speak for me. I don't want extra privileges. I want to be a female or I want to be a male. Like, I don't want all this bullshit. I don't need extra pronouns. I want to be a male because I was born as a female, but I feel like I'm a male, or I was born as a male and I feel like I'm a female. Fine, that's fine. But forcing me to call you one thing or another, that's wrong. Uh, so you know, I mean, that
They'll
was
never be satisfied. They're gonna always, always,
yeah,
always, always keep looking for more and more and more. And then now they're trying to mess with children's brain and everything. And the thing too with gay marriage though is marriage came from the Bible. The Bible says between a man and woman. If the government wants to recognize someone's union, the government should do that. They should not that they're intervening in religion when they did that because that came from the Bible. So if you want to recognize
yeah,
a gay couple's union, the government can do that, but they did not have to make it
Mhm.
marriage because that's not what marriage
which
is.
But
right,
the left doesn't
right.
want that. The left doesn't just want that. That 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 issue
It's
could have
not
been tackled
equal. It's
years ago.
yeah,
That
dude.
that's it, that they brought that years ago. They were like, look, if two people want to get into a civil union or whatever and have the same legal rights as far as the government's concerned, go for it. But they don't want just that. The left doesn't just want that. They want to completely eradicate religion. Like they want to eradicate
Exactly.
religion. They're just going after religion. This is and by not
They've
that
been
some of
targeting
these
the
guys
churches for
like
years.
that fucker from Texas, Beto O'Rourke. He's he was talking about
Beta.
taxing people. He was talking about taxing churches that don't sponsor
hmm
same-sex marriages or whatever, which
Yeah, and
insanity.
and the thing with churches, the Democrats have been all up in those churches because you can tell like by church pastors and leaders who who speak about the Democrats, beliefs as if that's okay, and they find ways to like not even preach out the Bible anymore, and they're messing with a lot of people and people coming from church saying, "Well, the church said it was okay," so they're really messing that up. And Obama, when he was talking about the strategy, he brought up going and getting into the churches back when he was before or after he ran for senator, but it was back then. Obama had already talked about getting into the churches.
yeah, like I never fucking understood that. With the fucking church, like it's all started with, oh, we want us to be equal. And now it's like, oh, you have to bake us a fucking cake. You have to go and give us your fucking services if you're a gay couple. Like, why did it come from, we'll allow you to, like, within the span of not even 10 years of just let us be how we want to be, to you need to service our needs, even if you morally disagree with it, and it was pretty much illegal in most states prior to fucking 10 years ago. Like, what the fuck happened? Why did this become the new normal?
I'll give you a
That's
hint.
it, dude.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good.
It's gonna be great. The
Here's
greatest
my
wall.
other question: how do you, if people, if there was really a man and a man attracted to each other, and a woman, how would you know they're even gay in the first place unless they tell you? They
Hmm.
could just be friends. I don't know what you guys do in your bedroom,
Well, I mean,
so
they
how
could
would
be
you
like
know?
making out in public and shit, because
Could be,
people
Well,
do that.
sure.
we could be shopping for drapes and stuff. Hey.
Holding hands, holding hands. I don't hold hands with my homies. I'm
I
not
Honestly,
gonna
do
lie.
what
sometimes.
was the fucking purpose of marriage? I
Well,
think people have gotten so
Donnie,
far away from that shit.
Donnie, you are a gorgeous woman. If I saw you holding hands with another woman, gorgeous or not, I would go, "Oh, look at look at that."
Well, that's so
I would-
adorable. Can I watch?
yeah,
No.
exactly. Right.
I don't know. I think our vibe would be like, oh, they're just being silly.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, maybe. Depending on depending on how you were acting, I suppose. Now, if you
Yeah,
were holding hands with
it was
me,
extra.
I can't imagine what people might say, because I am a
Like
white man.
sometimes I walk through the store or something. My little sister, she's not really little. She's 21 now, and like I hold her hand, we just play around, just being goofy. But like no one ever looked at us like we're a couple though.
Listen, she's still little. She will be little
Evil
until
Eric's
one of you die.
Well, she's taller than me. I'm the shorty
Evil
I
of the
don't
Eric.
give a fuck. I don't give a fuck if she's taller and weighs more than you. She is little. She is littler than you. Damn it.
Evil Eric
I'm big, you're
calls
small.
Evil Eric calls you Apex Simpin now. So
Of course he does. Evil Eric hates me.
Evil Eric also says, "I'm just gonna come in. I'm just gonna give in, become gay, and bury my schlong and Sam." Well, no, that's not gonna that's not gonna happen, Eric.
Or are
Wait,
you
wait,
going
wait, 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 wait,
are
wait,
you
wait, 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 wait.
gay?
Sam, listen.
That sounds
Eric,
uncomfortable.
Eric was gay well over a year ago when I first was welcomed into the danger zone. So I don't I don't think that's on you, bro.
Yeah, well, yeah, we know that. I mean, all of the guys in my chat. Well, most of them like me that way, though. So, um, I mean, I'm
Well,
I haven't
listen,
I haven't
I'm not
taken
a
my
simp.
shirt off for
You haven't taken your shirt off in a while. That's true.
You strip for what do you call it again on YouTube for money?
It's the
Super
only
chats.
You strip for super chat?
No, 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 Donnie. Sam strips because we tell him to.
But for no money?
Yeah,
no,
because Sam's a
no,
because Sam's a fucking gangster.
I should though for Streamlabs donations. So
Hey, what
You know,
Sam
I would
does,
totally, you guys, I would totally do it, but I'll have like 5 shirts on.
what Sam does behind closed doors with Owen Benjamin is his own personal business.
be more like well, I mean beat his ass. That's although but that's not so secret. So no. What I do with Miller Weaver behind doors is another
Oh shit! All right, well,
is
and we
another
are and we are officially canceled. All right, there you go.
Hey, are we gonna go ahead and touch on what we think is really going on with Twitter with the hack check marks?
Oh yeah, so that's
Ooh.
pretty funny. If I was gonna go and hack someone and go through all the effort and get access to all those accounts, you can bet your ass I would not be doing a stupid Bitcoin scam. Just think.
Wait a minute. Time out. I would. I would, if I was part of the China communist regime
No, fuck.
at this point in time.
You could make so much more money not doing a fucking
could.
scam.
You could,
Here's
but
where you
why wouldn't? Listen, if you were in a communist party across the sea, openly, secretly at war with all countries, with their fuck, whatever it's called, their secret war policy, whatever the fuck it's called. I can't remember off the top of my head. But you add on top of that their Three Gorges Dam and their 45 fucking days of flooding and all the sanctions and investors fucking pouring out of China like like mad from all over the world. China's already openly admitted to um, trying to affect U.S. elections.
No, this wasn't
Whether-
fucking China. This was like I know
Oh
the
no, I'm not saying it
Chinese-
was, but I'm speculating that it could be. That's
this
all.
was probably some dumbass dude from like Russia or something with some Bitcoin scam. Now, like
Why
in-
Russia? See, look at you go straight to fucking Russia.
Well, yeah,
I
because,
went to China because
because
China is the real bad guy.
well, yeah, but China wouldn't do a stupid Bitcoin scam. If it was probably either like Russia or like India or just some like
You
dumbass.
are a bad
Wait,
guy,
Oh
wait,
but
wait!
you're
I'm
not
sorry.
a
Wait!
bad
I'm
guy.
sorry. Who invented Bitcoin? Who invented all this cryptocurrency? Weren't those Asians? Weren't those
Japanese, I think.
Japanese? Oh, okay.
Allegedly, we don't know who
That's
actually.
pretty close.
Wait, where did it come from? Japan? I thought it came from China.
I don't think
That's racist.
it was.
I know, right? That's what I was. I was just saying. Maybe I am racist.
Fucking U.S., but like
But so has it come out that it is a scam?
no, Bitcoin's not. Bitcoin itself isn't a scam, but like what they were doing was a scam. They put like a Bitcoin address, said they double your money, which is like a fucking RuneScape era like fucking scam. You know, hey, double your
Yeah.
money, send me your fucking money. No, dude, that's bullshit.
Which is why I feel like it's perfect for the Chinese Communist Party.
No, if they were
le-
the Chinese Communist Party, they would go and do something more fucking grand than that. This
I
is
don't know that they would,
probably
man.
fucking script kiddie who fished somebody who was in charge of fucking Twitter. Like, I think that's what happened. They fished someone who had admin rights to Twitter. They got into it, and then they threw out some like dumbass scam. But honestly, if you were smart in the Chinese, they would have had Tesla say something retarded, like just straight up on the fucking stream, have Tesla
Yeah.
go and say, "Hey, you know, fuck."
I mean, let's be real. They would have went straight to fucking @real Donald Trump and
No,
said,
they would
"Let's go to war with North Korea" or some shit.
No, Trump allegedly he has some sort of special privileges, and that's why he wasn't in it. They had access to Biden, you know, so that's why I think what was happening. It wasn't a state-sponsored actor. This was some script kiddie, some dumb fisher from some country that like because China, it's all going to be state-sponsored, so it wouldn't be from them. So what you have
So
here
what
is
happens to your Bitcoin when you die?
huh?
What happens to your Bitcoin money when you die?
It stays in your Bitcoin wallet.
Yeah.
So,
Anybody
like,
that has access.
How do your family access it though? If you die and you don't have anybody, like how does it work?
They
Because it's not
they
American
don't
stuff.
unless you give them access.
Wow.
Yep. So you better give them access. You know, that's the moral of that story. But
Buy
yeah,
gold and
awful.
silver, Donnie. Fuck that Bitcoin bullshit.
Jack promotes Bitcoin. I don't take anything serious from anybody I don't trust. So.
Yeah.
Listen,
Evil
my
Eric,
name is.
who,
Go ahead.
Evil Eric, who's usually making jokes in the chat, actually brings a good point. He says it's a currency that can be manipulated with no provable catalyst. It's a scam. Yeah, and that's what I've been trying to tell like my family members who are into who are into Bitcoin and stuff like that, into crypto. It's stupid.
well, I would be very careful with it. There are certain benefits to it because, like, just the way the blockchain works, and I'm by no means a blockchain expert, but from my understanding of how Bitcoin works, is you have to like there's like a public ledger over there so you can see every transaction that was like ever done on there and like basically to mine it. It's just solving like a really long cryptographic hash, and then you like update.
Now, I have to say, Shannon in the chat brings up an interesting angle. She says, or he or she says, it wasn't about the Bitcoin at all. It was about the access to the DMs of the accounts that they had locked.
Oh yeah.
Shannon is definitely a girl. Come on now.
Okay, well, I don't know. Shannon, fuck.
No,
It's a
that
lady
The,
with red hair. She's really pretty.
oh, well, listen, I'm on my phone. I do everything on my phone, so that is like a fucking that picture is smaller than my pinky nail.
I saw it, but we just follow each other today, so you guys should follow her on Twitter too.
She actually looks very pretty.
She is.
I can't go to her page, so you know what? Whatever.
Later.
no, but see,
What's up?
they've done so
What's
much.
up, Benny?
Like, think about it. Like, what you could have done with, let's say, Joe Biden. If I was someone who wanted to go and make money or wanted to go and do, like, if it was the Chinese, they could go and have Joe Biden say something. They could have had, like, they probably could have got access to, like, someone high in the Trump campaign or, like, Fox News and had them, like, say the N word on Twitter.
Yeah, but Alex, but think about this though, man. Like, think about the idea of subversion and like the concept like Shannon just brought up. What if it's not about actually accessing their accounts so much or like sending anything out from their accounts as it is accessing things from their account. So it's almost like the like the Pizzagate kind of idea where you've got all this info, you've got dirt on somebody for fucking a kid or whatever on video. Obviously that's a little more extreme, but it's the same kind of idea.
Why would you go and blow your cover though? If you're gonna go and do that sort of deep style attack, I would just not say anything at that point.
Who says they have? I mean, this is
No,
me speculating that it's China.
No. I'm saying whoever did it did blow their cover because we all know about it because of that doubling money scam. If this was the Chinese, they wouldn't have said anything. They would have wiped Mimikatz on all their computers. But
I mean, I agree with you to an extent, but I don't think I can't go as far as to say if it were the Chinese, they would have or they wouldn't have, because I can see a lot of gray area there where they would or they wouldn't have in this sort of scenario. Personally, the more I researched the fucking Chinese Communist Party, the more I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, where have I been for the last 20 years? Or 30 years for that matter.
Yeah, no, those fuckers are seriously scary.
They're scary, dude. They are some scary motherfuckers.
But what happened over here is not like something that state-sponsored hacking unit would do. This is something.
Well, wait a minute. We just had a 4-year campaign by the Democrats trying to prove that the Russians, a different country was involved in state-sponsored terrorism against our election. So why couldn't the Chinese be?
Because this wasn't state sponsored. The thing with Russia is they really don't care what you do. Like if you're in Russia and you hack someone in the US, they're not going to care. That's why I think it'd be more likely to be them or like maybe India or some other country that has lax cybersecurity laws who did this.
The Chinese Communist Party in their military arms have admitted openly that they have tried to affect U.S. elections.
Oh no, they would, but this didn't really affect.
They
US...
have. They've admitted that.
No, but what this was not affecting U.S. elections. This was just a stupid Bitcoin scam.
No, I agree with you there. I'm just again that was all spawned from speculation on my point. Potential.
Yeah, no,
Chinese Communist Party is losing a lot of fucking money, and they're losing a lot of face. And if they can gain money anywhere, why the fuck wouldn't they?
This is only making $100,000 from their part. What they could have done to make even more money would be to go and have Tesla say something stupid, and immediately beforehand put like a put order on Tesla or whatever that is, so that when Tesla loses money, they gain money. Have Elon Musk say that he snorted coke off of a hooker's asshole or something. Something stupid like that. He could say that.
Not do that.
Tesla would lose immediately like a bunch of money from their stock because they see Elon
Yeah,
Musk as being unhinged, and they can make way more than the 100 grand that roughly they made in Bitcoin, which is why I think
yeah,
this.
but the CCP is vast, and they have infiltrated fucking everything, everywhere, especially in this country, and Silicon Valley, more so than any industry, is susceptible to communist fucking propaganda. I
No,
mean,
I'm not
just
saying that's.
fucking look at it objectively.
I'm not saying that's untrue. I'm saying that I don't think that this particular attack was a Chinese attack. This was unprofessional because
I could listen. I have to agree with you, but my conspiracy, leaning mind. That's just where it went. I was just throwing that out there.
no, no, and there's
I
nothing
really don't think.
the Chinese aren't already in there. It's just that they wouldn't blow their cover like this over something that didn't really accomplish any sort of tactile or strategic goal for them.
Yeah, I mean, if this scam made like $5 million, then it might have some ground. My theory might have some ground. You're right, but
It just blew their cover. That's all it did. Like this was obviously some script kiddie either from United States. Like it could be really anywhere where these people are from, but it wasn't state sponsored. I can tell you that because they did a
yeah,
very sloppy job with this. And
yeah.
you'll
I
find that
mean, they.
in the coming weeks they're going to figure out right who did it. And I can tell you right now, this probably happened because of a phishing email or a voicemail phishing phone call or text message. This That's probably what happened. They hacked into somebody who they didn't hack like the person gave them their credentials most likely. They probably didn't hack into anything. Someone just gave up their credentials because they're not trained properly on how to deal with these sort of scenarios. Which I've
I
seen.
uh I have an angle. I don't know if everyone on the panel is aware of the screenshots and the video of the control panel from the Twitter hack, where it showed like admin controls and shit, where it had you could blacklist. What was it blacklist trending, blacklist feed, compromised user, and something else. Are you guys familiar with that?
Oh yeah, no, I saw that, and I think that was probably one of the best things that came of this.
Yeah, I
Without that,
agree.
never have known about this issue.
I mean, listen, we all fucking knew, but
Well,
we didn't have proof. Now that's pretty fucking tangible proof right there.
it was like the Snowden leaks. Everyone already knew this was going on. Well, not everyone, but conspiracy theorists like myself
Most people.
knew
Yeah.
this shit was going on for years, and now we can say, "Aha! Here's proof." And that is the moment that we had with Twitter. So I can tell you that's probably legit because Twitter kept taking down those images. If it was fake news, they wouldn't give a shit. It's fucking real.
Um,
Hey, Donnie.
Yes.
I, you know what? I had a question, and then I dropped my phone, and a bunch of things happened, and I forgot my question.
no, Tex. Hitting on Donnie is my job.
No, no, no. Listen, I would have politely said, "Excuse me, ma'am. I'm sorry to bother you, but you're very beautiful," and then I would have walked away, uh, virtually, because that's my style.
Hashtag walk away.
I would say thank you. Who are you voting for
Well,
this year?
uh, until until the fucking idiot next to me was like, "White power, thanks for the drink, idiot," and then I would be like, "Facepalm."
Yeah, thanks.
I was actually going to respond to your tweet about that, Donnie, but then I'm like, I'm not sure if I should. So
Which one?
the 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 one where you tell them to stop that you can stop people from hitting on you by telling them that you're voting for Trump. So
Yeah, I've been wanting to
so
put that because I've been using it and it's been very successful.
I would say
Well,
that shit would not. That shit would not work in my neck of the woods, girl.
I I I
Let's do
I
it.
I hate to tell you that would have the opposite of effect here. That would have the opposite effect here in Florida. So
Well,
Yeah, but I'm
Florida's
in
a very good
Texas,
state.
you know?
Listen, my baby sister still lives in deep South Texas. And she is a stark raving Black Lives Matter advocate and a white privilege um, person. She's one of those people.
Mm.
And
She
I
feels like she
can't.
doesn't belong.
No, listen, my sister is such a good-hearted person. She's just
Hmm.
stupid. She's just dumb.
You know, I made a
Uh,
video earlier about this. I said the left, they target certain people. And I also say they target people with really good hearts. And they think, oh, this is bad. I need to do something about this. They're one of the people that the left targets. So that's
that's
maybe.
exactly right. That's exactly what it is.
Hmm.
Especially with my, I mean, I can only speak to my sister, but it's a good example for my best friend who's probably still in the chat right now. Uh, who just hates Christians and he hates Trump and he hates white people. He will say he doesn't hate white people, but he fucking hates white people, even though he's white and rich, uh, and all those things. But
Oh,
you know, I guys,
I,
seriously, I don't know why you let me on the show because I don't remember what the fuck I was saying for like the
You're
15th
fine.
time tonight.
are you sipping?
What? What?
Are you sipping? Are you sipping on some
I
beer?
mean, yeah, that's part of the problem. I shouldn't drink alcoholic beverages before I go on the internet. It's probably
You're
not
not
a
I'm
the
good idea.
having some beer
no,
too.
no, you need to because no, you need to because there's so much more entertaining. Also Apex. The Whitfield Report chat came up with a new title for you. You're the lead singer of a band called Simp Biscuit. So
Huh?
Simp Biscuit. Yes.
I'm down as long as Donnie plays the bass.
I just got plus one.
I'm sorry. I don't know why that was so funny to me.
I can't play any instruments. That's why I'm laughing.
Hey, have you never watched South Park? All black people can play the bass.
I've watched it, but I don't remember that quote.
I'm sorry. Again,
No, that
I
that's
play
wasn't
why
what I
South Park all the
it
time
shouldn't
on
have
my
been
Twitter
funny.
account.
saw.
Token yells at Carbon because he's like, dude, I can't play that. I've never played an instrument in my life. He's like, dude, you're black. You can play the bass. I promise you. And he picks up the bass. He's like, he tears it up because he's black and he has rhythm.
That's one thing I can't fucking forgive my parents for, man. I wish I would have been pushed hard to go and learn how to play an instrument. You know? Shit would be-
podcasters are the new rock stars, and right now we're in a fucking super group. So
Yeah.
You guys,
You know what I
well,
read? Oh,
did
go
y'all
ahead,
see
Tony.
that Bryson Gray made it on billboards?
No.
Donald Trump is your president, if you like it or not. Yeah, he made it on billboards.
Who was
I think
that?
it's like number 44, his album. It's called MAGA Season. And I think it's so awesome. That's a big deal because his music is political. He praises Trump and he doesn't cuss in any of his songs. And he made it on billboards. That's how big the silent
I
majority
fucking love
really
it.
is.
I
I love
love
it
it.
too. So proud of him. Like, and honestly, he said it's us too, because he does it by himself for free. He did that in his room, like he didn't have like a bunch of extra stuff like other people have.
That's, dude.
That's
Yeah.
dedication. Hats
It
off.
is motivating.
That's what's going to save us, man. That's what's going to save
Mhm.
us as a whole is people like that
Yeah.
care enough to, I mean, it's not about Trump, it's not about Democrats, it's not about black, it's not about white, it's about people pouring themselves into what they believe. And they may be wrong, in some cases, but I sincerely believe that when people are true to themselves and what they put forth, that good things happen for both them and the world. And it's not always easy, but that's why I refuse to hand out victim cards as a white man. I don't understand. I don't understand the plight of the black man, but I am poor. I am downtrodden. I'm I'm pretty degenerate, and I am white. Uh, I have no parents, so fuck all of you. Uh, don't tell me what I don't know uh, because of my skin color. That's kind of where it's at for me. I empathize with anybody that can tell me a story that's worth empathizing with,
I'm kind of happy
black or
you
white.
said that because one of my friends, we spoke about this today, where basically people are trying to tell white men that they don't have a voice, and it's not right. Like, so if someone starts speaking, like, oh, no, 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 you don't understand, you're a white guy. Like, why can I have a voice?
No, Donnie, that's a fact actually in 2020
Mm-hmm.
in America.
Yep.
It's a fact, which is why I'm so happy to come on this show and Sam's show whenever he allows me on. Because
You're always welcome on my show. What are you
I
talking
know
about?
that, Sammy. I've got your personal phone number and you have mine. So if we're not friends,
Well,
I don't know what the fuck friends are.
well, also though, here's the here's another thing. Because I'm glad that you brought that up. Because like I don't make a big deal out of this, but like obviously everyone knows that like I'm, physically disabled. You know, I'm in a wheelchair which has like fucking blades in the
Flamethrowers and fucking wheel
tire.
blades. Yes, Sam, we know. We know. You can
Put a
kill
fucking
people with your
minigun on
wheelchair.
that
Go
thing.
on.
and
There we go.
and Merch will never be able to drive it, no matter how
Over my dead fucking body.
well he can't he can't fit into it to begin with. But also though, getting like going up that that tangent aside though, apparently I get SJW points for being like handicapped or differently abled or whatever they're calling it now. But but the fact that I'm a white straight male overrides that, now. So like the one the one like virtue card that I have is like trumped by the fact that I'm a white straight male and I'm conservative.
You know you are,
So
Sam?
yeah.
You know you are to the liberal and Democrat left?
I'm I'm everything that they're afraid of. I
Oh
know
no no no
that.
no no no. You're a Mexican, basically.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. So
Why is he Mexican?
That was that was tongue in cheek. I mean, I guess it's kind of true, but you know what? I'm fucking drunk, and my lights have been out for like 4 fucking hours, and they won't come back on, and they want to, but they won't. So, uh, yeah, things and stuff. Hi guys, what's up? Thanks for letting me on the show.
Oh wait, I thought we were talking about Twitter and the.
is Sean even here or did he
I actually just came back. I've been lurking in the background hearing this.
Something, Sean.
What was that, Alex?
You missed something today. It's been pretty fucking lit.
Oh, what happened?
Oh, yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on. I couldn't even begin to fucking start with what all the interesting stuff's been going on.
we basically just hijacked the show
Sean.
for the
Sean,
entirety.
it became the Apex Gamma and Donnie show. That's what happened.
Whoa.
Well, Phil was here too.
No,
Where's Phil gone?
He's
listen,
gone now. There right now.
No,
Yeah, I rarely
they were
dip out,
footnotes,
but
buddy.
I.
They were footnotes. I don't know. I fucking have no idea what's happening.
It became the Degenerates show is what it
Oh
became.
no.
Damn, now I'm gonna have to
We don't
actually.
any affiliates with
No.
them.
No.
Are you gonna make me
There's no
watch the
degenerates in
replay
this
to my
show.
own show? Like, seriously? Like, that's
Yeah.
totally
Look, listen,
ridiculous.
there was some stimulating intellectual
Oh,
conversation going on when you weren't
stimulating.
here.
Apex
Listen,
is drunk.
Like electric, your ball
Stimulating.
sack stimulating.
Apex
See,
is listen.
see, I'm not the only one who makes dirty jokes around here.
Apex
So.
is almost always drunk. I'm not proud of it, but god damn it, gosh damn it,
You're fucking right.
I'm a
Well,
white poor man.
Well,
I do what I can.
again though, Apex, you're not Mersh, so you're not bragging about how many strip clubs you DJ'd at when you were in your late 20s. So.
Sammy, I appreciate that, but that's like comparing apples to rotten oranges. I don't
Cigarettes?
know. Yeah, like cigarettes, cigarette butts. Yeah, like you find outside of a fucking strip club. That's right. Apples to cigarette butts outside of a strip club.
Breaking news: Kanye West is going to hold a campaign event tomorrow at the Exquisite Event Center in South Carolina.
Didn't
I
he
thought he
already call
dropped.
off his campaign? Yeah, he dropped out.
But he also filed additional FEC paperwork to qualify in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Oh, for
I
fuck's
saw that.
sake.
And what's the strategy for that?
He actually has enough. He actually has enough signatures now to where, like, if people vote for him, he could split the vote in Trump's favor.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to. That's something I forgot to touch on earlier. Is that there's something else? Oh, there were two things I want to mention too. Also, they're kind of tangents, but actually, let me go. I'll go to the tangents since they're quicker. And this is totally random, but I don't know if any of you guys watch MythBusters, but the guy from that show, Grant Imahara, died the other day. Yeah. I don't get surprised or shocked or sad by celebrity deaths, but that one actually hit me. I was legit shocked by that. He was only 49, and it just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, that was. I wouldn't say I was as shocked by that one. The one that shocked me this year was when Neil Peart died of cancer.
Yeah.
Although nothing is quite as I was kind of shocked when Kobe Bryant died too, but
That was a shocker, yeah.
But not for the reason people think that I
What
was
do you think
shocked.
people think?
So.
What do you think people think?
Well, okay, so confession time. So back when I was in high school, I used to have there was like this kid who was like, so I was like a junior in high school at the time, and there was like this freshman kid who would like always come into the lunchroom and like basically just like kind of like butt in. And like he had ADHD or one of those conditions, so like he would just like come into conversations and just like start talking how great like Kobe Bryant was, right? Just like out of nowhere. And it got to the point where it was kind of like annoying. So we decided to prank him. So what we did was we downloaded like an app where you could like generate like fake news headlines. And so like one of them that I generated was like celebrity death, and it would just like auto generate. So the one that auto generated was Kobe Bryant dies in helicopter crash. So I showed it him, and he got like, you know, he was like, he like legit believed it, and he was like crying and like really upset, you know. So we told him that it was just a prank, right?
It's just a
So then
prank,
like
bro.
when it actually happened though, I was like, I'm like, wait, is this for real? Holy crap! I predicted this. So
Wow. Yeah, I mean the reason the Grant one really hit me was because he actually came to Penn State like 2 years ago, and I got to see him. That was my thing my junior year, and I actually got to ask him a question too during the Q&A. So it was like really freaky that this guy that I had a small moment with, you know, that, and I watched the show like, you know, it was throughout my whole childhood really, just gone randomly
yeah,
on a tragic way he went. So I just, you know, I definitely wanted to mention that because he was a pretty cool guy. So it's like just really sad when people like that go so young like that. But
What did
yeah,
he die of? Wasn't COVID, right? It was
no,
like
it was a brain aneurysm. And what happened was he was feeling some headaches like a few days before his death, and he then started like losing numbness in his legs. Like his legs started going numb. He started losing the ability to feel and a bunch of other things. I'm actually Google it. And then he went to the hospital. Like he was eating dinner with his like girlfriend. I don't want to say he like collapsed, but he basically was, you know, like I think it was unresponsive was the term they used. But I'm gonna try and find the article. And then he went to the hospital. He actually survived the first surgery. That was what makes this even worse is like the first surgery they did on him, he was fine. Like he got through it and everything, but they then put him through. Oh, I found the article. Another surgery. I think another emergency surgery, and that's when he just didn't make it. I found the article. Okay, it says sources close to the Mythbuster family tell us he'd been experiencing painful headaches for a few days before Saturday night when he was having dinner with his girlfriend in L.A. His pain worsened at one point. He felt dizzy, along with severe neck and back pain, numbness in his legs. Showed signs of being unresponsive. His girlfriend called 911. When the paramedics arrived, his vitals were normal, but he was still in serious pain. Rushed to the hospital. They realized he had a brain aneurysm, and he underwent emergency surgery. He survived the surgery, which is no small feat, but he never fully recovered. He had another operation on Sunday, but again came out unresponsive in critical condition. The MRI prepped for a third surgery, but doctors discovered the extent damage was too severe, so he was totally unresponsive, and so the decision was made to take him off life support.
yeah.
It's crazy. But I don't want to stick in the doom and gloom, but I did want to mention that because that one really hit me personally. But oh yeah, and then there was John Lewis died the other day too. It's another tragic death. But when we were mentioning the black vote, though, I did want to mention something that Jacob Wohl said, and I think it's something that honestly would be good strategy for the campaign. Is that instead of trying, I mean, definitely try to get black vote, but in areas where you know you're not going to get it, basically keep the black vote home, because that's how Trump won in 2016. Was people in Philadelphia didn't vote, and in other cities with high black populations didn't vote. If they keep ramming those 911 call ads, and they do some like Joe Biden's racist ads and the "you ain't black" stuff, you could probably keep a lot of black voters home. You keep those black voters home, and that's probably like the thing that's been keeping Biden's vase alive.
I posted about that earlier.
Yeah.
And I've been hashtagging May 22nd like crazy. So I was trying to figure out like what made Jack post a slice of pizza on May 22nd. And I was like, what happened that day? Because I feel like there must have been some kind of distraction. So that morning, Joe Biden did "You Ain't Black." That's all we pretty much talked about that day. Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend had a hearing or a court date that same day at around 12. So obviously no one's talking about that because we're distracted. And then Jack around 2:48 p.m. posts a piece of pizza. And then there's around 10, then there's around like 10 something, it's another article about her hearing on there. And so like I didn't even see any of that because I was distracted as well. And then I'm gonna add this too because I added it to my page too. Is 3 days later, Memorial Day, then George Floyd dies, or
Fucking 5 years later, and Pizzagate's still a thing. Imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Well,
the
Trump wasn't president then.
And the thing too with the George Floyd things, I mean, I've kind of realized recently that, they they're not only doing that to hurt Trump, but they're doing that to energize the black vote. They think it's going to, get people to vote for Biden or something, or to come out and vote just in general. And it might be working.
That's true because on the same day, May 22nd, I shared that tweet too. Black Lives Matter talked about making people hear them. Their voices are gonna come out, and then like I said, 3 days later, George.
Yep. It's all engineered. It's all for political motives. Oh no, I see your pool videos.
What'd you say?
I said I see your pool videos now.
Oh.
Scrolling through my Twitter timeline.
There's a Twitter account that keeps popping up in my timeline that is George Floyd sobriety check, and every day it posts the number of days that George Floyd has been sober.
Oh.
It makes me wonder what the fuck kind of content that I consume.
That's like there was like a Facebook.
I don't follow it. I don't follow that page, but it like pops up every, like at least once a week.
Well, I've been getting.
I'm not that active on Twitter. At least my 1 year anniversary was earlier this month, actually. And
Congratulations.
Again, Sam. No, thank you. Sammy's the one that told me to do it, and it had nothing to do with anything personal. It was just retweeting fucking stupid Owen Benjamin videos. But I've had the thing for a year now, and I lost my main YouTube account, so fuck. May as well use it.
No, we've got to get you a backup account though, or something.
Yeah, well, cause I got into an argument earlier with an e-thought, and I called her. I'm not gonna lie. I called her the C word because she called me. Listen, she posted a picture of her kissing another female with masks on, and said masks are sexy. Masks are sexy. I said,
God.
Sweetheart, they are not. And she said, "Fuck you, nerd." And I said, "No, fuck you, cunt." Something else. I don't remember what I said. But I'm like, "No, fuck you, cunt. Masks aren't sexy. People are sexy. Humans are sexy. Fabric is not. Putting that on people can be, but masks just aren't." And then I got a fucking I don't even know. Probably 50, 60 people just blowing my... Oh, you fucking nerd, basement dweller, etc., etc.
I thought the worst they could throw was nerd.
Apex.
All I said was masks aren't sexy. That's it. And I couldn't believe the responses that I got, but apparently it's common for Twitter. I'm a year in, but I'm just now figuring it out. I'm green as fuck, man. I gotta learn a lot.
I'm surprised the worst insult they thought they could throw at you was nerd. It's like...
Oh no, that was just the original. They of course they inevitably went through my Twitter timeline and called me a Nazi, a racist, white supremacist, Holocaust denier. All of the things that white men are. I became that today. Because of things that I find funny that I either retweet or I post, just words that I think are funny.
Oh, did we, speaking of Twitter, though, did we talk about the Twitter hack yet?
Not really.
Briefly.
Not in depth.
Briefly, yeah. I mean, I thought it was China, and Alex did not agree.
No, there's no way it's fucking China.
I think
I
they
thought it was
said that
Chinese people. I don't think it's Russian people. That's all
Oh,
I'm saying.
Why do you say it's not China? I'm curious.
no, because that's not state sponsored. There's no way in hell that's state.
Yeah, he doesn't. You're right, and I mean, I kind of agree that $90,000 doesn't seem like a state-sponsored event. It really doesn't. But just, I mean, maybe I'm biased because of all the reading I've been doing lately into the CCP and the Uyghur fucking population and the tons of hair that people are seizing. I mean, like, the Chinese Communist Party scares the shit out of me. To be honest with you, they're little people. I don't mean to sound racist, but they're little people, and they scare the fuck out of me because their tactics, they're open tactics. They have an open doctrine of warfare on the world right now. I forget what it's called exactly, but there's 3 levels to it, and part of it, they have openly admitted to trying to subvert American elections, presidential elections, something that Russia has been blamed for years. What, 4
But
years
what
now?
do they have to gain hacking people who already support them?
Who,
So that
China?
I think what would CCP gain hacking people who already support them? These celebrities and all them, they pretty much they support
Yeah,
Well,
CCP.
listen, no, I concede. I concede that. I mean, that was just a conspiracy theory that I conjured up. Like, I really, I didn't have a lot of weight in the idea that the CCP hacked Elon Musk and fucking Joe Biden and everybody else. I mean, I just think that it's possible. That's all. That's all I was putting out there, really.
I don't think this was a straight up normal hack either. I think this was a result of a phishing email. Most
No,
likely.
that's the other thing is it's pretty serious, and from the research that I've done, most recently, which is why I think bias plays a lot into my my angle on this thing or my perspective on it. Is
Yeah,
that there's never been a level of infiltration in human history that's been recorded, like openly. China is fucking everywhere.
But here's
And
the thing. I think that Twitter did I think it's a Twitter hoax. I think they did it themselves. The timing of all this was happening during Chrissy getting exposed for eating humans and being a pedophile. And her little comments about pizza and pasta and stuff. So I think that they're trying to save other people's accounts from getting the same attacks and notice of what was going on with Chrissy. I don't think China had anything to do with it. With the timing of it, I feel like it had to do with them and how to. I feel like they had to help her delete all those tweets in one day and then block a million people. Twitter had to have helped. There's no way that a human did that on their own in one day.
time out. Did Donnie fade way the fuck out for everybody else as soon as she started talking about this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait,
Because I barely heard you.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Sounds like it's using like an internal mic and not maybe the mic that's on like your headphones or something. I don't know if those got pulled out or something.
No.
Yeah. You sound really far away, basically.
Yeah.
How about now though?
No.
Better now?
No.
Dang. I'll leave and come back.
Yeah,
Okay.
leave the call and come back. So Dex.
Yeah.
How's life, brother?
It's something else. It's been crazy.
Yeah.
How do I sound?
Oh, that's better.
Oh, you sound fucking beautiful.
I was saying that I don't think it has anything to do with CCP. I think it's a Twitter hoax because of the timing. Chrissy was being exposed. They're calling her out for being a pedophile with her discussions and disgusting things she said, and videos, eating humans. So I feel like Twitter was doing damage control because she was crying out for help, and I feel like they were trying to make sure they
Hold up
look at the other
here.
accounts with those issues.
Who would
That is deep.
Who
And
are you?
Christy, and hold on, and Chrissy, they deleted 60,000 emails and blocked 1 million people. Twitter had to have helped her. No human can do that in one day. Like, come on.
Yeah, no,
Wait,
I would agree with that.
wait. Who? Are we not at?
Chrissy Teigen.
Oh,
Chrissy Teigen.
oh
John
shit.
Legend's wife.
Yeah. Well, if she's eating humans, that's a problem.
Well, I
So,
think that was she's made jokes about that or something to that
But of
effect.
course they make jokes about it, but you know them they mean it.
Yeah. Eh.
Well, I was gonna say that with the Twitter thing, I actually don't think it's China only because I don't see what they gained from it unless they stole.
Money. That's the only thing that I saw. Money and influence over the account.
Yeah,
that
but
they
I
have.
don't. But it's
You know what
like,
I mean?
in the grand scheme of how much money China has, like their government has billions of dollars. Like that's like nothing to them. So unless they're trying to make a point, which they would, if they were, they'd be a bit more open, like that they hacked them, but they didn't. So I
Yeah, I
think
mean,
it
I
was
have to.
either like Alex said, phishing email, or some sort of like like hacker that wanted to like troll Twitter or make some money off it. I mean, it's
I
Is
mean,
probably
I'm
voice
forced.
phishing or SMS phishing. Like I don't
I'm
think
forced to agree. Actually, I was just kind of trying to do what I tend to try to do on this show and like play devil's advocate, like go the opposite of of where my brain tends to go, just to kind of try to play devil's advocate because I like to work these things out openly, and I don't really have that many friends because I live in the middle of fucking nothing. So, and the people, the friends that I do meet yell white power in front of the only pretty fucking black girl I've seen in, you know,
Wait a minute.
like
I
ever.
thought you said you didn't know him.
I didn't. No, that's what I said. Sit
Okay, I
next to
thought you
some
said
random
friend.
fucking white dude. Sit next to some random redneck that yells white power in front of the only, pretty black girl I've. Well, I don't go to the bar that often, so quite frankly, it's not that unusual for me to not see any pretty human beings at all at the bar because I don't go there.
well. Speaking of actual terrible segue, but I'll just dive into it. I was browsing Fox News and has anybody been following this Ellen drama that's been really heating up recently?
yeah, I haven't really been following it, but I heard that she did some like shitty stuff when she was in charge of that show or something.
Well, I don't want
Yeah.
to say that she's being canceled just yet, but let's just say her brand is being broken because there's a bunch of reports and allegations that have come out in BuzzFeed interviews and BuzzFeed reports, now Fox News. Is getting some stuff where
Sexual
basically
abuse?
no, it's not yet, but they're basically, she's always been thought of by at least the public eye as this nice, fun, hip, trendy like talk show host, but there's been a lot of reports coming out that the workplace is extremely toxic, that there's been
Because
claims
she's
of
an evil fucking woman, right? She's hateful and evil to all of her people.
yeah, pretty much.
Like
They've been claiming that she's been like bullying and being racist to people, and that there's a total low morale now at the company, and they're trying to boost the
actually
brand
heard
back
that.
up.
It's not the first time I've heard this, man. I feel like I heard this years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's the first time really hearing of it, but kind of
Well, I'm
doesn't
fucking old.
surprise me. But I wouldn't be I don't know how long the show's gonna last now because it sounds like advertisers are starting to pull out slowly, and I mean, if it's
Well, wait a minute. Now, if Ellen can fall off of popular entertainment like that, and Tucker Carlson doesn't, my brain tells me something is wrong there.
well, no,
Personally.
because the difference
This is
here.
just hypothetical.
Well, the difference with Tucker is that Tucker is actually he's not compromising his brand. Like he's staying true to who he is. Like this
Yeah,
is killing her authenticity, and this is what will probably happen is that you're gonna have people stop watching her, and when the viewership goes down, the advertisers leave. You lose your show. It's done. Now, will enough of them
Tucker,
leave?
No, you're right, dude. You're right. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'll say, will enough of them leave? We don't know quite yet. But with Tucker, the thing that's keeping him alive, even though advertisers have pulled some of them, and there have been calls for boycotts, and there's been some controversy, his viewership has stayed solid. And
Dude, his viewership is through the fucking roof. Are you kidding me?
yeah.
It's like the most popular television show in the history of television. I'm pretty sure.
Well, he was like the
close to it.
most popular, I think, cable news show. He set that
Yeah.
record. But, like, you know, there's stuff like the Breaking Bad finale or, like, the game,
Sure, of
you know,
course.
they've,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
top
yeah,
it. But, you know, he's doing solid. But Ellen, she's, I don't know. I don't know if
She's
she,
a darling of the left, man. I mean, I guess she could very easily end up a sacrificial cow, man. You know, just like anybody else could.
Yeah, who knows?
Donnie, how do you feel about Ellen DeGeneres?
I saw the ankle monitor in a picture. I'm hearing about what things she's done, and I think that I don't like her. No, I know I don't like her because I see on her page where she keeps telling people to vote blue.
yeah.
And I feel like I don't like when people try to intervene in elections. So used to, I just like, oh, she seems like a positive person, and then I started seeing her being really political, and I was like, oh, I don't like her at all, actually. And and then I started thinking, dang, I've seen a lot of kids in her shows. I'm kind of scared now. So I hope they're all okay.
Yeah, she freaks me out. She always has. Not gonna lie.
She always seems like a little too nice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you
Listen,
get
listen.
if you get what I mean.
I actually have an employee, one of my managers underneath me that is it's very much like that. That is so positive all the time that you know it's not real. And they try so hard to keep like
Well, it's
the
like
kind of listen, the kind of person that every single time that you see them, like if you walk away from them across the establishment and then you walk back, be it 5 minutes later or 2 hours later, they go hi and they raise their hand and wave at you with this big smile. Hi, how are you?
That freaks me out when I go to church. So, like when I go to church
Dude,
and they do that, I'm
that
like,
is
oh
not-
my god, y'all are not real.
that is
I'm
not-
leaving.
That is not normal human behavior. I'm sorry. You say hi to somebody when you enter an establishment. You don't have to say hi every time you see them, especially not the way that you're doing it. That's weird. Stop doing that because it's fucking weird.
well, it's well, I think Bob Saget has it down perfectly because Bob Saget's like, yeah, I'm a nice guy, but I also like to tell, blue comedy and, like everyone thought that, Bob Saget was a really, nice guy, but then, if you've ever heard Bob Saget's version of the aristocrat joke,
Oh, that's my
like,
favorite fucking joke ever told.
he's pretty normal at least. So I don't trust people who don't like dark humor, or gallows humor like I do. So.
Well, I listen to mostly death metal and black metal, and it makes me very happy to listen
and
to
yet
those
you're
things.
and yet you're a fucking sweetheart, Apex. So
Right.
That's
So that preaches to the choir. I live in the shadows to bring light to my fellow man and beautiful woman.
Well, it says on here that on the Ellen show, one black employee said, Or one person said to a black employee, "Oh wow, you both," but these were two black employees, I guess, "have box braids. I hope we don't get you confused." And at a work party, one of the main writers told her, quote, "I'm sorry, I only know the names of the white people who work here."
Hold up.
That is
is
so
Gianni
tangential. That is such tangential bullshit, dude. Ellen, no, listen. I don't care who the fuck you are. You shouldn't be canceled for that. Fire those fucking people. If they're out of line, for fuck's sake.
Oh, this is funny. When the former
Is it facts? Did she have her own recording? Because people accuse people of saying things all the time.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Especially nowadays. Fuck.
This one is actually kind of like funny. It says when the former employee brought up issues of race and representation on the show and asked producers not to use offensive terms like, quote, "spirit animal" in segments. Her colleagues called her the PC police.
Hey, listen. I want to go out on a limb here and say that Donnie is my spirit animal.
You think so? Why did you run away after you said that? Like what?
I dropped the mic, is what I was doing there,
Oh.
and I was actually coughing a little bit because I'm a degenerate and I'm smoking weed and I'm coughing.
I guess Sam's okay with that, right? Because he didn't say nothing.
No.
Someone on my chat is saying that like the audio is staticky for Apex or something like that. So
Donnie, can you hear me?
Yeah.
That's all that matters to me.
Oh my goodness, Apex and I are gonna be fighting over Donnie now. So.
Nope, there is no fight, sir. I will lose my fucking legs at the knees, and I will catch on fire.
No Carnation is in my chat by the way.
What?
So.
Get that motherfucker in this call.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have Milk Nation on my Discord account that doesn't exist.
Oh, I do. Oh, I do. Oh, I do.
I was actually playing Milker's video of Owen versus Lift the Veil on the last hour of the show, which was
poor Nathan. Poor Nathan.
Yeah.
But I want to say this. I think we should say it more often. There is no better place for anybody to be tonight if they're not out, especially because it is COVID. They should be on here with us because there's no better place to be than with us.
I would agree with that.
I agree.
I agree with myself.
Listen, I am enjoying myself personally while expressing myself globally with you lot. So I might be making a fool of myself, but what's new? What I do?
Alex and Sean are quiet. Are y'all really still here?
Yep.
Hey,
I don't know.
Johnny says he's getting constant static noise.
From me?
Yeah.
I might be after if your OBS or something. Or Streamlabs.
Let me.
No, you know what? He's probably fucking trolling, but I'm gonna leave the chat and then I'll come back.
Oh, I don't hear it anymore.
Is the static still coming up?
I don't. Oh, I can't hear it. Maybe it's me.
I'm talking to the chat.
I didn't really hear it, to be honest.
Yeah, I hear a static.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good.
Wow, this BuzzFeed article is really long on Ellen. Jesus. There was even a person like supposedly committed suicide and had to take some time off. Then when she got back, they eliminated her position, and so she was out of a job.
Wait, she attempted to commit suicide?
What was that?
What?
I didn't hear either of you.
Well, Jeffrey
You can see. Did you say that she attempted to commit suicide?
There was an employee that attempted. I'll find the segment. Yes, as after working on the Ellen DeGeneres show for nearly a year, one former employee said they took medical leave for 1 month to check into a mental health facility for a suicide attempt. But the week they returned to work, they were told their position was being eliminated. You'd think that if someone just tried to kill themselves, you don't want to add more stress to their lives. The employee whose story was corroborated by further employees and medical records told BuzzFeed.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty bad. What were you saying, Alex?
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
Mm-hmm. And one of the few times BuzzFeed did anything worthwhile. But since it's getting a little late, we're already almost hitting 2 a.m. here on the East Coast. Is there any last little things anybody wants to say or plug or any other news stories to bring up?
No.
What was that? There was something, and let me check the news section real quick. There was something I didn't want to bring up. Scrolling.
Oh, was it that Twitch thing you said?
Yeah, so like apparently, and I actually have some first-hand experience with this. The U.S. Army Twitch page got some heat for having like from what I understand, a thing for an Xbox controller. Like, oh, if you join the stream, you can win this, but then when you click on the link, it brings you up to a fucking like Army like recruitment sign-up page. It's like that's a classic bait and switch, and I actually had a similar experience with this. I think it was a month or two ago, they had something like that going on. I clicked it, and then I got some text message from the U.S. Army, and then the next day, a recruiter called me. And I'm like, no, I didn't sign up for this. That's some pretty cheeky shit right there.
Literally, I'm reading headlines that just say Twitch forces U.S. Army to stop tricking viewers with fake giveaways. Think about that.
Bernie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they need people, but come on, don't do that bait and switch shit.
Hey,
that's pretty bad.
Is Trump really coming to Dallas? Because I got an email saying he's coming to Dallas.
Let me check his website. I'm not sure. Whoops, I can't type. Let's see.
The email sounded similar to something that Rudy was saying on his show, but Rudy didn't exactly say Dallas. But the rest of what when he was reading the advertisement, it sounded like the email that I got, but he didn't say Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say any location.
Yeah, I'm not sure, actually. Let me Google it then. I don't see anything on his site. Trump Dallas.
If Dallas just use snippets where it automatically just puts your location in there with your name and stuff and your whatever state you're in or
yeah. Well, I don't see anything about him going to Dallas, but he was in Dallas on June 11th. That's quite a while ago, but I don't see anything upcoming.
Okay, because I got that email recently.
Ooh.
Hey, can you see what kind of CRM the campaign is using?
Oh, I do have access to a CRM.
What are they using?
Confidential information.
Nothing you can say.
Well, you should be able to say the company.
I actually don't know what the company is actually off the top of my head. I could
What color are their what color is the logo?
Yeah, I think this might be a little bit confidential information.
I'm just curious because they send so many ads out all the time.
Oh, I don't have access to that CRM. No, well, I'll explain things a little better, maybe off air, but yeah, it's pretty confidential.
Ooh.
Yeah, but yeah, well, that's everything I have for tonight. But you can follow us on @VersaNewsMedia on Twitter. Donnie, what's your handle again on Twitter?
Donnie the Don.
There you go.
And Donnie is DONI.
Yes. And Sam is at Sam underscore.
WNGC? Yeah.
That's my Twitter. That's my Twitter handle. I'm also on Parler, just at Sam Whitfield. So
Yeah. There we go.
I am Apex Gamma, and I am at don't fucking follow me because it's not worth your time.
That's a shameless plug if I ever heard one. But yeah, thank everyone for joining us tonight for this episode, and we will see you guys again next week.
apologies for the static for those of you watching the Whitfield Report stream. So, but I don't know what happened. But thanks for watching.
Yep.
And yeah.
Have a nice day and wash your freaking hands, people.
Wash your
Bye.
hands.
Bye.
Your privates too.